Welcome back, Romantic Home family, and welcome if you all are new. I am Olivia with Olivia's Romantic Home, and today's video, I am over the moon, excited to share today's 60 DIY Dollar Tree Christmas decor crafts. Now, this is from the archives when I first began my YouTube adventure, and I love to go back and watch some of those older videos because they just have that cozy little vibe. I'm using Dollar Tree goodies, thrift store goodies to create these beautiful decor crafts. I hope they inspire you. There are going to be so many different styles, whether it be glam, French country, buffalo check plaid, all the things, candy stripe, and we're using so many different budget-friendly items. Also, you guys, don't forget to hit that subscribe button because I am hosting a giveaway. I'm giving away some Christmas brooches. I'm gonna have a new batch of winners announced. I'm gonna be giving away 5 in this video, so you guys keep watching, stay tuned. Thank you for being here, and I love y'all so much. I have my trusty assistant, BG Beer, here. Without further ado, let's go ahead and plug in those glue guns, get out your glitter and paint, and let's get to crafting. DIY Dollar Tree tree. We are going to spray paint it with the candy pink spray paint, and this is going to be our Marie Antoinette tree. So to spray paint a Dollar Tree mini tree like this, I like to go in and I work from the bottom up, and then I also spray paint underneath the tree first. And this took about half a can of spray paint, which I love because then I still have half a can left over to DIY something else. So for the next Dollar Tree DIY Christmas tree, we are going to make a unicorn tree. So I went in with the Candy Pink spray paint and I just started underneath the tree again, and I started by spraying a couple of the branches with the pink and then a couple of the branches with the aqua. Okay, so to give it that really cool ombre effect, I just went ahead and went in with the pink, and I sprayed a couple of the branches pink, and then I went in with that ocean mist, which is kind of like an aqua candy land color, and I spray painted a couple of the branches the aqua, and then just to really get a little extra, I went and I sprayed the tips of the branches the opposite color. So if the branches were pink, then I spray painted them the aqua, and if the branches were aqua, I spray painted the tips pink. And that's definitely an extra step you don't have to take, but I think it came out so magical and beautiful and very sparkling for kind of that Candyland unicorn effect. Now, of course, you guys, I also had to get a little bit extra too with some gold spray paint, and I just lightly spray painted the tips of a couple of these branches gold. I love how that gave it some dimension, and then I just used a clear gloss spray paint and I spray painted the branches and then added some very extra and sparkling glitter, and voila, a very fabulous tree. So for the next one, we're going to do a Princess Grace tree. For this one, I just used some of that same gold spray paint, and I spray painted the tips of this white tree with the gold spray paint. Super easy, not hard at all, but I think it kind of made it feel kind of vintagey and princessy without going too over the top. I did also flip it over and give it a little bit of spray on the bottom as well. For the next Dollar Tree DIY tree, we are going to do our Little Mermaid Candyland tree. So this is that Ocean Mist spray paint. You guys, I absolutely adore this color. I think it's so beautiful. It works so perfectly in with a pastel theme, and especially if you have a little lady in your life that loves this color, and actually I absolutely adore this color. So I just went in and I started at the bottom. The base I sprayed all up underneath the tree, over and around the top, and voila, we have a very beautiful pastel angelic Little Mermaid Ariel tree. Now for this next tree, we are going to do a snow white tree. So I wanted to give this kind of a foresty feel. I just went in with a candy apple red spray paint and I spray painted the base underneath, and then I just lightly sprayed the tips red. So you guys could kind of stop there, and if you love to do like a buffalo check plaid Christmas, this would be a great one to do. And then if you really want to get a little extra, you can go all the way and you can spray the entire thing red. So that's kind of why I thought it could be like a Snow White tree. It reminds me of that apple that Snow White had, and I just think it's so beautiful and so red, and it really pops, and it would be so gorgeous with some different golds or some different buffalo check plaid ornaments on it. Now for the next Dollar Tree DIY tree, we are going to do a fabulous Marilyn Monroe tree. So you guys, I went in again with that gold spray paint. This time we're going to spray the entire tree gold. So you just start underneath and you spray from the bottom and work up to the top. And then of course for the Marilyn Monroe tree, we have to add extra glitz and tons of extra glam. So I found this really sweet and cute sparkling gold glitter at Walmart. I just went in with that clear gloss paint again, and then I added tons and tons and tons of gold glitter, and voila, you have a very extra, very sparkling, beautiful, absolutely gorgeous, ready for glam Hollywood tree. So for the next tree, we are going to do our Snow Fairy Princess tree. So this one is very simple. You just go in with that gloss spray paint and you use a white iridescent glitter. They have this at Walmart for about $2 or Michael's, and it comes out very sparkling and gorgeous. I used tons and tons of glitter on this. You can't see very well in the picture, but it did turn out absolutely gorgeous and definitely perfect if you're going for that shabby chic or white theme in your home, and it would be gorgeous with some of those Dollar Tree iridescent angels on it. And I just love this. I love the whites. So for the next Dollar Tree DIY tree, we are going to do a Coco Chanel tree. So for this one, I just went in, I actually robbed Mr. Romantic's spray paint stash. He used some black spray paint for spray painting our grill, but I went in and I found about half a can left, and I thought, ooh, Coco Chanel, let's do a black tree. So this would be great actually too if you're decorating for Halloween, but wouldn't this be gorgeous with some glitzy gold Garland? So the next one we're going to do is a vintage rose blush Christmas tree. I was so thrilled to find that Walmart is actually stocking this vintage rose blush kind of pale pink spray paint, so I couldn't resist sharing this with you guys. If you guys love that kind of vintage vibe, this tree turned out absolutely gorgeous. So for the next Dollar Tree DIY tree, we are going to do the farmhouse girl tree. So you guys, the farmhouse look is totally in. I just also robbed this from Mr. Romantic as well, and I grabbed some of his gray primer paint. I also think you guys, they carry gray spray paint at Dollar General for $1. So this tree turned out fabulous, and I think it would go perfect if you're doing a farmhouse theme with some buffalo check plaid ornaments or even some khaki colored ornaments. And so the very last tree we're going to do is what I call our Starbucks mocha latte tree. This I just also robbed Mr. Romantic's. It's actually his camouflage spray paint. So it came out kind of like a khaki. It reminded me of like a cappuccino color. But this is a really nice neutral tree if you guys are doing neutrals.
And honestly, I really think you guys could go with some Dollar Tree gold ornaments or some Dollar Tree silver or even just some white ornaments.
Share with you guys some easy DIYs for your Dollar Tree Christmas tree. This is going to be Christmas trees for all different styles. So if you guys like to do traditional Christmas, sugar plum fairy Christmas, maybe a glam Christmas, a farmhouse Christmas, or just even kind of a woodsy Christmas, I have so many ideas to share with you guys. Christmas is definitely my jam.
Okay, you guys, for the first Dollar Tree DIY Christmas tree, we are going to create this beautiful Marie Antoinette tree. So I had just picked up these roses from Dollar Tree and I'm going to clip them off at their stems. And the next thing we want to do is go ahead and take off the base of this tree, and I found this really cute little container at the Target dollar spot for $1. I put some Dollar Tree rocks in it, and then I just wanted to replant this cute little pink Dollar Tree tree that we had spray painted in episode 2 of my I Love Christmas series. I'll link that down below. And I just love how this came out, you guys. It just made this really pop and really sweet and very elegant. So for the next thing we want to do for this Marie Antoinette tree is we want to go ahead and use one of those Dollar Tree feather boas. And so you just want to take this boa, and I started for this one at the base, and these are so easy to use. You just basically wrap it right around your tree and kind of tuck it in some of the branches. So once you have your tree all feathered up, I just came in with this darling little tree topper that I had designed a couple of Christmases ago. It's just one of those 99-cent Walmart toppers with some bows and jewels added. And then I'm going to add in some roses. I'm adding these in along the top, and then I'm going to kind of sprinkle them about this beautiful Marie Antoinette Christmas tree. We have our tree all roses filled, we want to add just these cute little kind of pink fluffy keychain ornaments to the tree. These are actually out at Dollar Tree right now. I hauled them in my episode 1 of my I Love Christmas series. And then we've got this beautiful bejeweled ornament. You guys, this is so sweet. I'm gonna do a DIY on this for you all, and I'm also gonna do a huge DIY episode that's separate from this video just on Dollar Tree ornaments and how to doll them up. So I also use these Dollar Tree daisies just to fill the tree out, and now we're gonna do this cute little package idea with this toilet paper roll. So I just had this scrap piece of wrapping paper, and what you want to do is you just want to roll it around your toilet paper roll and then tape it on, and you can glam it up with whatever kind of scrap ribbon you have. I also love to add some little jewels to it, and it just makes a really cute little sweet packages for underneath your tree. I also think that you guys could even put some candy in these, and it would be actually a real package, not just decor. In this video, I couldn't resist sharing with you guys a couple of DIYs. So remember that bejeweled ornament? I just wanted to share with you guys, if you guys go to Walmart, they have big, huge boxes of jewels you guys can get. And they also have the pearls at Michael's. You can also find them online, but you just can just hot glue those straight onto your Dollar Tree ornament. And then another way to bejewel a Dollar Tree ornament is to use these cute little white flowers that they have at Dollar Tree. They come in a huge pack, and so you guys can really do a lot of ornaments with these. Another Dollar Tree DIY ornament idea is just to get some of that dollar paint from Walmart and paint your ornaments to match whatever tree color and design you have. I recommend using this kind of acrylic paint and not spray painting these foam ornaments because they do kind of tend to melt if you spray paint them. But this paint works really well, and a nice dusting of glitter will give you a beautiful, fabulous ornament that will match whatever tree decor you guys choose. And then another Dollar Tree DIY Christmas tree ornament idea is to go ahead and use some Dollar Tree lace. Just wrap it around your ornament, glue it at the top, and then you guys can add whatever jewels and bows you desire, and you have a nice little cute little custom ornament for your Dollar Tree mini tree. This ornament I did choose the Dollar Tree raffia, and I added this cute little bow to it, and then I added a jewel to the center, and voila, we have this beautiful little glammed up bejeweled ornament for our Marie Antoinette Christmas tree. Now for the next Dollar Tree DIY Christmas tree decorating idea, we are going to go for our Marilyn Monroe super glamorous Hollywood movie star tree. So this is the tree that I had painted gold and added glitter to in that last DIY Dollar Tree Christmas episode. And I am just going to use these feather boas because I love the way the Dollar Tree feather boas really add some fluff and dimension to those Dollar Tree trees that are a little bit thin. And then I added some Dollar Tree Glam. This is just some Christmassy mumbo jumbo to the top, and then I'm adding in the Dollar Tree gold glittering ribbon. I did add in some scrap lace to the top of that ribbon just to kind of doll things up and to take away a little bit of the glitz of the brightness of this glittered ribbon. And then, of course, in high Marilyn Monroe style, we want to use tons and tons of pearls. This string of pearls I found at our local thrift store. And then here's some of those sparkling Dollar Tree larger ornaments. I had picked these up last year. I believe they're going to have them again this year, but these are amazing. If you guys see these, grab them because they're really nice and detailed, and I think that they work just fine on this cute little Marilyn Monroe tree. And voila, we have a very ready for Hollywood glammed up superstar tree. Now for the next Dollar Tree DIY tree, you guys, I'm just going to share with you how to fluff up a regular green Dollar Tree mini Christmas tree. So these are $1 at the Dollar Tree, and I'm just taking some of this greenery again that I found at our local thrift store. You guys, I love thrifting, and I cut it into 3 sections, and then I'm just kind of winding it and wrapping it around the Christmas tree. You guys can also do this with those Dollar Tree garlands. Any kind of greenery will work just fine. So remember the DIY scarf episode that I did? I'm just going to go ahead and use one of those DIYs to replant this tree. So I added the toilet paper and then into this glass ball jar that I had DIY'd, and then I added in some of those Dollar Tree rocks, and I'm just repotting my tree. I think this is a great way to really doll up your Dollar Tree Christmas tree. It makes it just so cute and adorable. And now we're going to do a little DIY on this red Dollar Tree sparkling ornament. I kind of want to create like a little scarf ornament, so I'm just adding a dab of hot glue, and for my last DIY scrap bit of goodies, I cut just this piece of buffalo check scarf whatnot, and I'm going to tie it around this top of this ornament where I had hot glued it. And then I want to add a little button and a little pom-pom, and then once I'm done, I'm going to go ahead and just trim up the little ends to kind of make it appear scarf-like, and it's going to add in to the darling appearance of this kind of farmhouse, just really cute Christmas tree. And I'm adding in this red truck, and I'm going to actually call this tree my Pops tree. It reminds me so much of my dad. He lives out in the country, and I just thought this cute little country red truck would just be perfect. And then of course we have to have a spot of hot cocoa to go along with our country vibe, and there you have it. For the next Dollar Tree DIY decorating Christmas tree idea, we are going to grab a roll of that deco mesh that we got at the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to cut it into about 24-inch strips. And this is the same premise that we used to do some of those scarecrow and witch wreaths. You're just going to ruffle it together and then use a pipe cleaner and tie it off. And I used the whole roll on this tree. This is my vintage rose tree. I also wanted to fill this tree out just a little bit and do something different than the boa, which the boa also would work perfectly with this as well. But you guys can do this for really any of your trees. Just adding in deco mesh, it's going to give your tree dimension and something to fill out those skinny little trees. And then remember when I told you guys to go ahead and grab some of those pearl Dollar Tree eyeglass holders? There it is. I'm using it as a garland, and I'm tucking in some of that blingy gold Dollar Tree ribbon and adding some Dollar Tree berries at the top. I did have this beautiful rose on hand, and also this little angel Victorian ornament that I had gotten at a garage sale. And then Michael's carried those big beautiful poinsettias that you see down on the left. I did end up adding one of those to the front of this tree just to go super extra, but the tree's looking great without taking that step. But sometimes making a little bit of an investment in a beautiful piece really can bring your tree to life. But look at how beautiful this dusty vintage rose tree has come out. So angelic and absolutely gorgeous. I hope you guys are really loving this one. For the next Dollar Tree DIY Christmas tree idea, I did go in with this beautiful aqua tree with the feathered boa. I really wanted to give it kind of an ethereal effect with this one. Originally, I had named this tree my Ariel tree. I'm not for sure. I think you guys, I need your help naming this one because I went in with a feather boa at the base and then loads of roses and more puffy pom-poms. And then I used some of that pink raffia to kind of create this really pretty little sweet garland. I didn't do a whole lot of decorating to this one except for with those feather boas and pops of pink, and then I did add that beautiful silver bird to the top and then some Dollar Tree glittering ribbon kind of cascading down the sides. So you guys comment and let me know, what should we name this really cute tree? Should I keep the name Ariel for this tree, kind of like in the Little Mermaid idea? Or should we rename it something else? It seems so sparkly, and then I think the bird just really dolled it up. So you guys comment and let me know what you guys think we should name this really sweet, beautiful tree. So for the next Dollar Tree DIY Christmas tree decorating idea, we are going to go in with one of those Dollar Tree plaid scarves. This is the brown scarf that I found, but you guys can use literally any scarf. And this is the tree that we had painted. I used Mr. Romantic's camo spray paint and painted it kind of this cafe au lait color. And so just with the scarf, I just used it as a garland and I just kind of tucked it in and wrapped it around. I feel like this tree is really cozy and really sweet. And then you guys know me, I love those Dollar Tree automotive cloths. I tucked that around the base to kind of give it a snowy effect. I added a cute little polka dot bow to the top, and then of course I couldn't resist. The owl is so sweet and so adorable. And then I used some other kind of campfire-y ideas with this little lantern. I added the church to the side and then the deer head to the top. And I think this cafe au lait tree is so beautiful. Almost I think we should rename it and do like a woodland theme. So maybe I need help naming this tree as well. So for the next DIY Dollar Tree Christmas tree decorating idea, we are going to go in with that black tree that I spray painted. This is going to be our glamour doll tree. This reminds me of a teen's bedroom. I just used some of that black tinsel that I had actually taken off the Dollar Tree wreath for the witch's hat wreath that I made. And then I wrapped it with that beautiful plaid little garland that we made in the last video that I posted with the DIY Dollar Tree scarf ideas. I clipped in some of those clips scraps, and I used this buffalo check plaid as a base. And then here is that DIY, just a clip of it. So basically I just took some scarf remnant scraps that I had cut, and I added just some of those Dollar Tree pom-poms. I think it came out really cute with the pink and black, and this I just used from that Dollar Tree infinity scarf. And this really reminds me of something my daughter may really love, mixed in with her kind of girly pastel colors. She loved the black and white pumpkins for Halloween, so I thought adding in this little XOXO makeup brush and her camera just goes perfectly for our glamour doll tree. So for the next Dollar Tree DIY Christmas tree, this was our Snow White tree. This is the one that I painted red, and then I added kind of some gold tips too. So I'm just using some of that Dollar Tree glittering ribbon. I really want this tree to sparkle and just have a really huge pop of color. So if you're decorating with red, definitely go for this. And this is one of those Dollar Tree poinsettias. And then I'm just making kind of a little coffee filter flower. So you just pinch your coffee filter in the middle and then just kind of twirl it around, and then I'm just going to kind of poke it into this tree. Now if I were decorating this tree and I wanted it to stay up for a long period, I would probably add a ribbon so I could actually tie it on. And then I'm adding some red ornaments and also some of these beautiful gold ornaments, and I added one of those Dollar Tree automotive cloths for the base of the tree. I really wanted to give it that kind of just snow white, I've been in the forest kind of feeling. And also you guys can recycle and repurpose some of those Dollar Tree mums that you used in some of your fall decor just to fill your trees out a little bit, especially if you're doing any kind of pastels or accent colors with whites or creams. Just a little tip on your Dollar Tree florals. And then if you guys can see too, I added in some of my gold earrings. That's another fun thing to do, is recycle some of your jewelry for your Christmas decor. So for the next Dollar Tree DIY tree, this is my farmhouse tree. Of course, I had to use that buffalo check plaid on the base, and then I added in this beautiful red plaid ribbon mixed in with some glittering red ribbon, and I think it just came out perfect. I did use some of those white kind of sparkling, I guess they're Christmas tree, for this tree. I had painted it a gray. It was actually a primer that I also borrowed from my husband's garage stash, and I added in some silver and red ornaments, and I just think it came out really darling. And then I also used one of those large Dollar Tree ornaments that you can pop the top off. I added in some kind of faux snow, and I just feel like that came out really beautiful. Now this faux snow does make a mess, but it looks so pretty underneath your tree. I had to add into this beautiful little vintage reindeer, so absolutely precious. And for the last Dollar Tree DIY Christmas tree decorating tree, this is our unicorn tree. If you guys remember this one, this was kind of that ombre tree that I showed you guys how to make. I just went in with some lace to make the garland, and then I added one of those 99-cent toppers to the top. You guys, they have these pink ribbons and candy canes. They had them at Walmart last year. Hopefully they have them again. And then I'm just kind of mixing in different colors of ornaments with some blues and some pinks. You guys can really get creative with this. And then I kind of had this idea to make like a unicorn horn ornament. I don't know, tell me what you guys think about this, but I just cut up one of those really pretty straws and I added it to the top of this sweet pink ornament. And in my mind, I kind of thought, hey, it's kind of like a unicorn ornament. So you guys comment and let me know what you think about that. I think it'd be really cute to add some bows and jewels to it, but it'd be a great craft to do with kiddos. And voila, there we have our beautiful sparkling unicorn tree. You guys, I really hope you are absolutely loving all of these DIY Dollar Tree Christmas tree ideas. I'm really hoping that I gave you guys a ton of ideas for how to decorate your Dollar Tree Christmas mini trees. I also feel like you can kind of translate some of these ideas to a larger tree, and you guys get ready because I love to decorate for Christmas. There are going to be so many more videos coming.
video. I am so excited to share with you 10 Dollar Tree DIYs for your Dollar Tree scarf.
For all 10 DIYs, we're going to use 2 Dollar Tree scarves. And for this first DIY, we are going to create this beautiful pillow. You guys, this is going to be created out of 1 scarf and 1 automotive cloth. So grab your glue gun, scissors, and some hot glue, and let's get to crafting. So I just want to take one of those Dollar Tree automotive cloths and lay it out. And then we're going to take our Dollar Tree scarf. I'm just going to take and I'm going to lay this scarf out because I want to measure the length of this pillow. And I'm actually going to cut this scarf twice. And I love this scarf because it has the little line right there. So I'm just going to cut it a little bit longer than the line. And now I want to leave the fringe on one end. We're just going to go down again. So for this next step, you really want to line up your scarf ends. And then once you get it lined up, you're going to go ahead and just trim that fringe off because we want to reattach that later. Next, you just want to go ahead and hot glue or sew or fabric glue this centerpiece of your scarf together. And once you have that part glued together, you're just going to go ahead and go around the entire scarf and hot glue that down to your automotive cloth. Like I said, you guys can also sew this or use fabric glue as well. I don't have a sewing machine. I use hot glue for everything, and these actually come out pretty good with the hot glue. So you do want to leave one end of your pillow open so you have plenty of room to stuff your stuffing in. And then once you have all 3 sides securely glued down, you want to just flip your pillow inside and out and then use some stuffing. And I just used some stuffing from a throw pillow that I was no longer using. So once you have your pillow all stuffed and nice and fluffy and soft, you can go ahead and just hot glue that in together. Be careful on this part. It's easy to burn yourself on this part, but I just love how this came out. I think it's so wonderful. It's really soft and cozy. I will probably end up using it in my son and my husband's man cave. And then after you guys get the very end glued back together, you can go ahead and reattach that piece of scarf. I ended up having 2 ends of the scarf and only needing 1, so I'm going to use the other end of the scarf for another DIY. But it even looked really pretty on my sofa with my pink pillow, and it is so soft. You guys are going to absolutely love this Dollar Tree DIY scarf craft. So for this Dollar Tree DIY, I just used my infinity scarf and I cut out the shape of a stocking. I used that old sock as a guideline. And then once you have your stocking cut out, you can just go ahead and glue those 2 pieces together. And if you guys have a sewing machine or fabric glue, that will work really well too. I love to use hot glue on everything, and I've made these stockings for years like this, and they actually hold up really well. So once you have it hot glued all the way around, and then I left the opening of the top open because I just wanted to inside it out. And I also like to stuff my stockings if I'm using them for decor. You'll just go ahead and inside it out, and then you can choose whatever trims you love. And I had this beautiful lace trim from Dollar Tree, so I just went ahead and hot glued that to the top. Be careful when you're working with the lace trim from Dollar Tree and you're hot gluing because it can burn the tips of your fingers. You can also use a spatula, but I do have really tough fingertips from all my crafting, so there we go with that. Now comes the fun part. I love adding ribbons and bows and just going super over the top and glam with my stockings. So if you guys have seen any of my stockings on Pinterest, you'll see I get pretty crazy. But for this one, I'm just going to go ahead and add these beautiful little Dollar Tree ribbons and then a really pretty button, and I'm just really thrilled. I thought this came out super sweet and festive and just a great way to reuse that Dollar Tree infinity scarf. And of course you guys can use this really with any fabric, and I did attach that cute little pink fuzzy keychain that I found at the Dollar Tree as well. If you guys remember, I hauled that in my first Christmas episode, so check that out. But I thought it looked so pretty, and I added that fairy and a little makeup brush as if I was going to be using this to stuff for Christmas, and it's so sweet if you guys are going to use this for Christmas or just as decor. Now, I also have to share with you a quick little fashion idea for your Dollar Tree infinity scarf. I added it to this black dress and green jacket for a pop of color. And you guys, I love getting bargains on my clothes too. I really honestly shop at Walmart and the thrift store quite a bit for my clothes. But I do love how this Dollar Tree scarf added that pop of color. Now we're just going to use this Dollar Tree scarf, and I am going to cut it to make about the size of a ribbon. So I'm just cutting 2 pieces, and this is the same scarf that we used for the stocking. I'm going to hot glue those 2 pieces together and then tie it around this brown package just to give this brown package a pop of color. And then I couldn't resist going in with some extra ribbons, and you guys again can get really creative with this and add some glitter or bells or a little ornament, and you have a beautiful fancy package for next to nothing. Now for the next Dollar Tree DIY, we just want to take one of those Dollar Tree clear ornaments. This is the smaller size, but you guys could use the larger size as well. And I'm just going to cut a scrap of that same scarf. I used 1 scarf on all of these projects for the plaid, and you're just going to push it into that little glass ornament. Actually, it's not glass, it's a plastic, but it's kind of like a glass appearance. So you're just going to push it in there and then reattach it, and then again you guys can get super creative with this and add whatever kind of bits and baubles and glam to really doll up your sweet little ornament. To this really pretty gold Dollar Tree Christmas tree that we spray painted. That was in my last DIY episode with the 10 Christmas tree Dollar Tree ideas. So I think it's coming out really beautiful, and I just love how many ways you can reuse this one little scarf. So next I'm going to make a cozy for my mug. So this is actually Mr. Romantic's mug, but I wanted to make a cozy for it in case I decide to use it, just to keep it even more cozy and doll it up, and then when he wants to use it I can just remove this. So you just wrap the scarf around, you're going to hot glue one edge, and then I decided to add a cute little button, and then it made this really sweet, very cute and fashionable little mug cozy. Now for the next Dollar Tree DIY, we're going to use just a piece of cardboard. I chose my kids' Uncrustable box, and I'm going to cut out 2 circles. What we want to do for this one is we want to make a really darling ornament out of the rest of that leftover scrap from the pillow that we made. So I just hot glued those 2 circle cardboard pieces together, and then I'm going to overlay this piece of scarf, and then I want to hot glue one side and put the scarf onto that part, and then I'm going to trim around it. You guys, this one is so easy. It would be great for a grandparent gift or a teacher gift. And then I just had this really sweet picture of me and my kiddos, and I added this cute little button and some ribbon, and voila, we have this darling, absolutely the sweetest ornament imaginable. And of course you guys can customize this to any kind of decor that you love. Now for the next part of this craft, we're going to hot glue this piece of scarf to this darling little ball jar, and you guys just hot glue it onto the jar, trim out the top, and add some ribbon, and you have this very festive, very sweet little container. You guys could put candy canes in it. I chose to go ahead and put some straws in there, but you guys could just really put anything fun and Christmassy that you love, that you want to display, that's going to tie in with whatever decor that you have. And here is that buffalo check plaid scarf. I just had to share it with you guys. I just paired it with this cute little oversized men's shirt, this black dress, some jeggings, and black boots, and off we go. Now we're going to go ahead and do this cute little clothespin. So I just had this idea to make a really cute little clothespin out of this buffalo check plaid scarf. And you're going to hot glue the piece of scarf onto the clothespin and then just trim it off. And I think it's a perfect way to be able to add some ornaments to your tree if this is the style of your decor that you're using on your Christmas tree. And you can also add some buttons to these to just glam them and doll them up, or you could add some jewels if you're like me, and you can just clip some of your family photos to your Christmas tree, and it just comes out super cute and delightful. So for the next Dollar Tree DIY, we want to make this darling little garland. So I just took the strips left over from the very end of that infinity scarf, and I just hot glued all the strips that I had left over together. And then I went in with some pom-poms. You guys can buy these in a big pack at Dollar Tree. And I alternated pink and black because that's kind of the theme of this little tree that I'm working on. And so you just hot glue that to the garland. And then you can use this garland on your mini tree, or you could even use a bigger scarf and use it on a larger tree, or hang it from your mantle. I think it came out so adorable and would be really perfect for a teen's Christmas tree or bedroom. So for the next Dollar Tree DIY, remember that extra piece of scarf that we had left over? I'm just taking this Dollar Tree mini ornament. I added some hot glue to the top, and then I'm gluing some fringe just around this ornament. This is just kind of creating a cute little custom, very crafty little ornament, and it's using up the rest of that leftover trim. And so it's going to match in with the rest of this really darling little Christmas tree that we're doing. And of course I had to go a little bit extra and add a pom-pom. And then for this tree I did add the little XO at the top. For the first DIY doily craft, we are going to create a beautiful, super easy, fancy doily wreath. So go ahead and grab that pack of doilies. It comes 32 to a pack, and cut out about 4 or 5 of your larger doilies, and we're going to cut out the pretty part because what we want to do is hot glue that pretty part to our wreath base. Now for the wreath base form, I just found one of those Dollar Tree wreath bases, and this is kind of like a grapevine wreath base, but you guys can use pretty much any wreath base form that you can glue to. So I cut the doilies to where they had about 3 or 4 loops, and then I'm just hot gluing this pretty part on. So you guys, this is super easy. All you need to do is just hot glue the doily part on, and if you guys have a spatula or maybe the ends of your scissors, you might want to use that so you don't burn your fingertips. So what I did next is I went ahead and I hot glued another set of doilies the opposite direction, so it really gives it that really beautiful lacy effect, because I think the prettiest part of the doilies are the ends, and I just really want to showcase those beautiful ends. So this is the second layer, and I did the opposite direction of the first layer, and then I went ahead and went in with one more layer of doilies, and I glued it in the same direction as I started with. So you guys can get as fancy with this as you want, but I just did 3 layers of doilies, and I did them opposite on each end. So once you guys have your doilies glued onto your wreath base, you can go ahead and take the second to the smallest doily size, and you just want to pinch it in the center and give it a good twist. So this was super easy. You guys just pinch it in the center and then twist until it becomes kind of like a flower-like form. And then once you have it twisted in the center, you can go ahead and add a big dollop of hot glue and just hot glue it to your doily wreath base. And then I had those pretty pearls, so I just cut one, and for each doily flower, I added a beautiful sparkling pearl to the center to really glam it up. Of course, this is optional, but I think it really made it sweet. So for each flower, I kind of alternated. I alternated the smallest doily flower, and then I created the second to the smallest doily flower. So you guys can get creative with this as well. You could even paint the tips of your doily with some spray paint, but I wanted this one to be all white. I'm going to be using it in my Christmas decor, and so you guys just alternate larger, smaller, larger, smaller, and that will create this beautiful flower effect. And then for the hanger, I just cut a little space at the top of the doily, and I ran a string of pearls through the top, and that's what I'm going to use as my hanger. You guys could also use a coordinating ribbon choice, whatever you love and whatever you have in your craft stash. I recommend going ahead and making your hanger before you guys get finished. That way you can go ahead and add your flowers in and around your hanger. And now you guys can see I'm just adding in more flowers and working my way up and around the entire wreath. You guys, I think this came out so beautiful, and I really feel like it showcased the prettiest part of the doilies. And I actually only used one pack of doilies for this wreath. So you guys, this wreath cost about a couple bucks to make, and I just think it came out really, really beautiful. And of course, like I said, you guys can get creative and use different colored doilies or different colored gems for the center, but look at how beautiful that is, and so easy and so inexpensive. So for the next Dollar Tree DIY doily craft, we are going to go ahead and create a beautiful gift bag. Now you guys, I used these gift bags in my Christmas decor for the magazine photo shoot. So just cut a doily in half and use one of those Dollar Tree gift bags. You could use any gift bag actually for this craft. I use this pink one because it's going to go with my pink Christmas, and you're just going to glue it with some Elmer's glue to the front part and then trim off those edges. Of course, you guys know me, I had to go over the top, so I did go ahead and add another layer of doilies. And if you guys have glitter that you want to add to this, it makes it even more beautiful and sparkling. Be generous with the glue and generous with the glitter, and voila, you will have a very beautiful fancy package. And I did even go a little bit over the top and trimmed out the top with another pretty part of the doily. Again, you guys can get completely creative and go for it and use tons of glitter and whatever colors you absolutely adore. So for the next DIY doily craft, we are going to do a beautiful sparkling bottle. So I just measured this doily out, and I ended up cutting it twice because I wanted to just use the smaller part of the doily. And then you want to grab that Mod Podge, and you want to go ahead and Mod Podge the front part of the doily. And I also used Mod Podge over the top part of the doily, so I added a layer underneath and a layer on top. And you guys can probably tell I'm a little bit messy with that Mod Podge. So anyway, and then I cut a smaller piece of doily because I wanted the entire thing to have just a beautiful kind of lacy effect. And then I did go in with some more Mod Podge, and I actually whipped out my Epsom salt. So you guys can use Epsom salt to create a snowy effect if you're doing this for like a holiday or winter craft. So I just added in some Mod Podge, and then I had that glitter left over on the plate from my bag craft, and so it was kind of a glittering Epsom salt effect. And I went all the way over the entire bottle with the Mod Podge the Epsom salt and the glitter. So you guys just keep adding layers, and I did even go all the way up to the neck of the bottle. And the Dollar Tree bottles come with a little cork, and I of course painted my pink, and then I added just some fairy lights in and some beautiful ribbons, bows, and some of those crystals that I showed you guys from another DIY. And I thought it came out so beautiful and sparkling and so perfect just to light up a little space in your home and to really glam something up and have a beautiful light as well. For the next DIY doily craft idea, we are going to glam up this beautiful candle. What I did was I just wrapped a doily around and I left the excess at the base, and then I used a piece of sheer Dollar Tree tulle. I tied a bow in the back, and then all you want to do is trim off the base of the doily, and that way the rough edge is on the bottom. And then you guys can customize this to any color and decor that you loved. I just used white for this. I think these would be amazing for wedding and bridal as well. Next DIY doily craft, we are going to create a beautiful sparkling shredded paper ornament. So just take a piece of scrap paper in your doily and you're just going to fold it back and forth until you get all the way to the end of your piece of scrap paper. And then you want to take a pair of scissors and you're just going to trim a small, it's about a 1/2 inch trim for this larger Dollar Tree ornament. And you're going to make this beautiful shredded paper. This works perfectly in this Dollar Tree ornament, and you guys can customize this to do any kind of decor. These are also beautiful to do if you want to do a vase filler or a bowl filler. But look at how beautiful this is. I love the detail on the doilies mixed in with this pretty pink paper. It had detail on one side with the hearts and then the hot pink. I think it came out so sparkling, so beautiful, and a very great DIY to do with kiddos. For the next DIY doily craft, we are going to make an impromptu DIY cone. So I love making these cones. All you have to do is take your larger doily, roll it in to the shape of a cone, and then tape it. And to make it a bit extra secure, I actually ended up using 2 of these doilies. So wrap that second doily around a little bit longer than the first one, and then you're going to tape it as well. Also, if you didn't want the tape to show, you could hot glue it or use a Mod Podge. And now you can just put a piece of ribbon of your choice to match your decor. I just stapled my ribbon on to make it super simple and easy, and then I stuffed a little bit of crepe paper down at the bottom, and then I added in these beautiful straws and flowers. And you guys can get super creative with how you want to use this and what you want to add in to your beautiful doily paper cone. For the next DIY doily craft, we are just going to create a beautiful personalized place setting. So lay down your first doily and then your plate on top of that, and then you're going to choose a little bit smaller size to put on top of your plate. And then I personalized this for my daughter Alyssa, so I just added this pink Dollar Tree A. They're a foam letter that come in a pack in the kids craft section, and then a cute little pink Santa mug. These are great for bridal showers, baby showers, and Christmas decor if you like. So for the next DIY doily craft, we are going to create a really cute little banner. So I'm just using this piece of pink Dollar Tree raffia, and I'm folding the smallest doily in half and folding it over on top of that piece of raffia. But you guys could use ribbon or whatever decor that you're making this banner for to match. So I used 5 of these because I'm going to spell out the words joy. So I'm just stapling them as I go, and I didn't staple them to the ribbon because I want them to be able to kind of slide around if I want to rearrange the letters. And then once I have them all stapled on, I'm just going to add those foam letters that I told you guys about that come in the Dollar Tree Crafts section. And then I'm just adding some beautiful jewels over those staples because I really didn't want the staples to show. And how easy and fun is that for an impromptu banner? Again, you guys can get super creative with this. I wanted to make this really easy and simple. And I also believe that this would make a great kids craft or birthday party or bridal shower, baby shower idea as well. So for the next Dollar Tree Tree Doily Craft DIY, we are just going to make a cute little stocking. So I put some candy in the center part of this largest doily, and then I'm hot gluing around that. It's going to be kind of a candy stocking surprise. So after I got done hot gluing the doily together, I'm just going to cut it into the shape of a stocking. Now, to make the bow, I did have to go ahead and cut into where I had hot glued, but I just hot glued that back together, and then I added this beautiful pink raffia, some ornaments, and then I have a cute little candy surprise stocking for one of my loved ones. For the next DIY doily craft, I just want to add a doily to the front of this package. So just take a piece of tape and tape underneath the doily, and then you're going to take a piece of tulle and wrap that onto the package to get the doily to stay. But again, you guys can get totally creative. You could glue this doily on if you wanted. I'm using tulle, and I'm going to start at the front of the package, wrap it around, tie it on the back, and then tie it to the front. And that's actually going to keep this doily on fairly well. You guys, I love using this. I use this all the time. I also use this in my magazine package wrapping decor, and I will do an entire video on how I love to do packages. And excuse my wrapping job on this package, this is just for show. So I thought it came out really beautiful though, and then just add a bow to the front and you guys are golden, and you have this beautiful doily customized package, and it's so inexpensive and it comes out so beautiful. Now for the next DIY doily craft, we're going to make a cute little gift tag. This could also work as an ornament. So you guys just take a piece of paper, whatever choice of paper that you love, and I just used a glue stick. I cut the doily out, and voila, added a little hole to the top. And again, you guys can customize this, super easy and a fun way to doll up your gift tags, or you guys can use these on a Christmas tree, and these are also a great kids craft as well. So I actually have a bonus craft for you all. My daughter's going to be teaching you all how to fold an origami rose.
You fold it from corner to corner, and then you fold it the other way, corner to corner, and you fold it in half one way, and then unfold it. And then you gotta fold it like into a small triangle, and fold all the sides up. On both sides. Then go back and fold them back down into themselves. So you just want to unfold it and push into the little inside and flatten it out on all the sides. Now once you're done with that, just fold the top over and look at the bottom, and push your finger into the little crease and push it down into a triangle, and do that on both sides. Now you just want to flip it back over and take one part and flip it over and crease it. Now just take the top and twist it, and then once you're done twisting it, just try to fold the edges over.
to create this Dollar Tree centerpiece, we just want to use 3 of the Dollar Tree mini trees. I chose white because I'm going to do kind of a woodland rustic glam theme here. So you just want to take and add 2 of the base prongs to the base of your Christmas tree, and then you're going to take and you're going to tie those on with some pipe cleaners. And so the Dollar Tree Christmas trees come with 3 prongs. Just add 2, face them down, and tie them together with that tie. Now we're going to create a deco mesh bow. So this is just the Dollar Tree deco mesh bow. This is the color that I had on hand, so we're going to roll with that. So I just looped it over on itself 3 times. You guys can see me. I just loop it over on itself, loop it over on itself, and loop it over on itself. And then you're going to trim off the excess. Take one of those pipe cleaners, wrap it around the center, and that is going to create your beautiful bow. And then you just want to take and tie those pipe cleaners on to the center part of your beautiful garland, and then you're going to get a really nice fluffing. Now you can see I'm just tying it right on here on the bottom. Flip that over, and that deco mesh is really going to create a beautiful centerpiece for you to work with to create this beautiful garland. And then I went ahead and used a little bit more of the deco mesh and just kind of wound it in and around the 2 ends of my garland, because I also want to create a really full garland on the ends as well. So you guys know me, I really love to get glam and over the top. You guys also customize this to whatever colors or themes that you're using for your centerpiece, and go glam and big, or you guys can just make it a little bit more simple without adding that extra deco mesh. So now I'm adding in that 3rd Dollar Tree Christmas tree, and I didn't even add the base to this. I just took the branch and I'm wiring it on to the bottom of that whole piece with a pipe cleaner, and it really fits perfectly on there. You just kind of slide it up underneath there, and this is going to be the back of my garland. So I've got my bow in the front, and then I just extended that garland out on the base. Now we're going to make an Olivia bow, and I will link the whole tutorial down below. But basically for an Olivia bow, you just take your ribbon, you wrap it over on itself, and you just continue to wrap it over on itself. So I wanted a really big fluffy bow, and so I used the majority of this ribbon. This is Dollar Tree polka dot ribbon. It's the 9-foot ribbon, and so I basically want to continue to wrap it over on itself until I get 3 loops. And then once you have that done, you can go ahead and find your center of the bow, and you're just going to take your scissors and you're going to cut a tiny notch in the center part of your bow. So find the center of your bow after you've looped it over on itself. You guys, this is the easiest bow in the world, I promise. And then you're going to just cut 2 tiny itty bitty notches. Now you guys, this part's really crucial. Don't cut in too far of your ribbon, otherwise it will make your whole bow fall apart. So just 2 tiny notches. And then you're going to take another pipe cleaner and just go ahead and tie your bow together. And now you can do the fun part with all of the fluffing. So the next step on this garland is I just wanted to use some scrap ribbon. So this gold is a little bit bold, but I did want to bring some metallic colors into this rustic glam woodland theme. So I had some scrap gold, and I just kind of tied a loop and then just let the tails hang free, and then I added another piece to the side to give it kind of some interest and dimension. And then once I had the gold on, I wanted to layer that really pretty Dollar Tree burlap Olivia bow on top of that, and so you're just going to tie that on with your pipe cleaner, and that's kind of going off to the center right. I guess it would be our right if you're looking at it while you're making it, and then you're just going to go ahead and kind of give those a good fluffing. And then I also had some extra silver ribbon left over. Again, you guys get creative, use whatever colors you love. For this one, I really wanted to do a lot of neutrals, but I did want to bring that kind of rustic glam. So to get the glam aspect of this, I just used these different metallics. And then I had one of those big, beautiful Dollar Tree snowflakes or stars or whatever you want to call it, and I went ahead and wired that on to the left of the bow. So then there's going to be 2 points of interest. There's going to be our bow and then also our beautiful snowflake. Now I did have this gold deco mesh. This is a really long piece. I used this in my fall garland and I had pulled it out already. So I'm just making another big giant loopy bow because I want to tie that on to the back part of my garland. So as you guys can see, that's that third piece of Dollar Tree Christmas tree sticking out to the back there. And I'm just adding in a huge deco mesh plume, bow, fluff piece, whatever you want to call it, with a piece of pipe cleaner. And that's going to give dimension, and it's also going to pull in some of those gold colors that you have in the front part of your garland. Now I want to take some of those beautiful big sparkling Dollar Tree ornaments, and I'm just taking a pipe cleaner and I'm wiring them all into one piece. So just run that pipe cleaner through all 3 tops parts of the ornament, and then you're going to wire this into the center part of your bow, and that's going to give us some more sparkle. And I love these Dollar Tree ornaments. They're so beautiful and sparkling, and it really brings a lot of glam and interest to this beautiful garland. Now you guys stay with me. We're really going to tie these all together very soon. So now I'm just going ahead and I'm hot gluing in some of those beautiful sparkling Dollar Tree Christmas hydrangeas that they've gotten in this season. I was so excited to see those. You guys know me, I love to use lots of whites. And then I'm adding in this Dollar Tree bird. This was the white bird with the little silver wings, and I just used a floral pick stem and pushed that into the base of him. That way he had something to grab onto. And then Dollar Tree also had this really pretty white ribbon that says Merry Christmas and Joy, and this was a smaller ribbon. So once I get to where I've got my larger ribbons in, I usually pick in some of my smaller ribbons. Now because I'm going for rustic glam, I had to add that little cute owl to the back. You guys saw me haul this in my Dollar Tree Christmas haul. I'm really trying to use everything that I have. And also, if you guys notice, I'm adding in some of those really pretty I believe that they were kind of white Christmas trees. You can see me adding it right here. Those were really pretty to add into garlands because they had a lot of dimension and sparkle and depth. And now I'm just continuing to pick in some more really pretty accent colors. So now that I've got my larger ornaments in, this is now when you want to go ahead and add some of your smaller ornaments. So I'm just looking at my piece and I'm seeing where I need to sprinkle in some golds and some silver and some more smaller ribbon. So get creative, use what you have, and just continue working. And then to the side part of my garland, I did want to add in a little bit of burlap as well. That way I'm tying in that centerpiece bow kind of to the edges and pulling that out just a bit. Once I feel like I have one side completed, I'm just going in to the opposite side and adding in a lot of the same thing. So we're adding in more burlap ribbon, more white florals. I did have a pine cone. I did a little bit different to that side, but I'm just continuing to use everything that I had laid out for this project. So be creative. I also used some little tiny mini silver Dollar Tree ornaments as well. I thought I was going to use this angel, but she didn't quite fit in there like I wanted her to, and so I think I'm going to use her in a different project, so stay tuned for that, you guys. But I just continued to add in all of these different little ribbons and floral pieces, and I did leave this video a little bit long so you guys could really see the process of how I do these really large full garland centerpieces. I know you guys loved the fall one that I did, so I wanted to share with you guys how I did this one. Now at the back of our garland, because we're making a huge centerpiece, I did go in with a little bit more of that burlap polka dot ribbon. I love this burlap ribbon because it is wired, so it gives you that nice full effect as you guys use that. And you guys can see I really went full circle with this. I added some more gold balls to the back, and then I also added in a large white poinsettia that I had on hand. They sell these at Walmart for 99 cents. They're a great filler. If you guys have a chance to grab some of those, I also showed those to you guys in my Walmart Christmas shop with me. So I just continued to add in some more of those florals and really filled this piece out really well. Now, remember that beautiful Glam candle that we DIY'd in my Halloween episode? I did add that to the centerpiece of this garland, and you guys will see that one float around. I may even do some more of those. I will link that DIY down below, but look at how beautiful this came out. I really was going for a transitional piece that I could use on my table before I really went full out Christmas, that would kind of just give it kind of an ethereal woodland rustic glam theme. And even my daughter commented that this was a really nice piece, that was a great transitional piece. So I love the neutrals. I'm definitely going to be doing a lot of neutrals in my Christmas decor. Comment and let me know what you guys think about it. I'm really loving it so far. So for the next Dollar Tree DIY, I just wanted to share with you guys, remember when we hauled those gift boxes? I'm going ahead and painting these gold, and so I painted the sides, and then I also wanted to paint the bottoms of these, because what I want to do is I want to create kind of a base that my centerpiece can go on top of. And so you guys, I will probably move this base around and reuse it, but I think gold is a nice accent piece. And then just to take away some of the gold, and since we're doing kind of a rustic glam theme, I went ahead and dry brushed the sides and the top part of these boxes. I really decided that I didn't want to do just the plain gold. At first I thought I would use glitter and sparkle these, but I really decided that I thought that for how I like my decor to go, I really wanted to just add some of that really pretty white paint, and I feel like it almost gave it kind of like a birch wood look. If you kind of look from it from afar, but also with the gold, it makes it kind of holiday and festive as well. So now that I have those all dry, I'm just going to go ahead and put them together with some hot glue. So you guys can see I didn't paint the inside part of these because I knew that they were going to be getting hot glued together. And then I just went ahead and added it to the center part of my mirrored tray. And I was so lucky. I didn't ever measure this, but it fit perfectly in there. And then I added my beautiful centerpiece, and I'm really loving how this came out, you guys. And now I'm just going to go ahead with another DIY, and we are going to go ahead and spray paint some beautiful pine cones that I collected the other day out of my yard. We're going to spray paint these gold. I wanted to add some pine cones to the rustic glam centerpiece, and so to give them just a little bit of extra glam, I went a little extra and I used just some regular Elmer's glue, dry brushed that glue onto the pine cones, and then of course, you guys, I had found this glitter on sale, and so I was very generous and I went to town really glittering up these pine cones, and look at how beautiful they look. I feel like they really brought in that rustic feel that I was wanting for this centerpiece, and just really made the birds feel at home. I know that's kind of silly, but I really liked it. So the next thing I wanted to do is I had a little bit of white paint left over, so for the next DIY, we're just going to dry brush these pine cones with a little bit of white paint. So when I say dry brush, that means that I've just got a tiny bit of white paint on the end of my brush. I don't want it to be goopy, and so I'm just using a tiny bit of white paint almost to give them an appearance like they have some fallen snow on them. And I added those in with some of those gold pine cones, and look at how beautiful this is. I also created a huge just bowl of gold and plain and white snowy pine cones for this rustic glam centerpiece, and I think it is looking absolutely gorgeous and very beautiful. And now for the next Dollar Tree DIY. Remember this DIY that we did with those two candy bowls from the Dollar Tree? We had just glued these two together. Well, I went ahead and painted it gold, and then after it was dry, I went ahead and went in with a little bit of glue right around the edges because I wanted to give it a little bit of glam, kind of holiday festive approach. Again, this is another transitional piece, and I'll link the DIY down below that we created this Dollar Tree bowl with. But you guys, I think it is coming out so beautiful, and of course I'm a glitter saver. You guys can see I just go back and forth with the glitter plates. And then I had this goblet that my mom had gotten for me at a garage sale, and I wanted to go ahead and glitter the base of this as well to just give it that really festive holiday feel. So I did just use Elmer's glue to apply the glitter with. I think if I would have used a Mod Podge, it would have stayed on just a little bit better. There was some fallout with this, but it came out really pretty and sparkling. And then I went around the rim of this beautiful goblet with some E6000 glue. Again, you guys could use a wine glass from the Dollar Tree and spray paint that gold and then glitter over that, and that would give you this same effect. And then after I got the E6000 glue on, I just added my beautiful gold leaf candy bowl, except for I'm not going to use it for candy since I did paint it and glitter it. But my son, for my birthday, he got me this wonderful, him and his girlfriend actually got me this pumpkin pecan waffles candle, which I have had my eye on at Bath & Body for so long, and they got it for me, and it smells so delicious. I've been burning it all day, and so I just wanted to create something really pretty for it to go in, and I just feel like this is absolutely gorgeous. I think it's a great transition piece from fall into the holidays, and it's so glittering and glitzy. And now for the next Dollar Tree DIY, I just took a Dollar Tree 8x10 framed, and I used some of that primer that I stole from Mr. Romantic's spray paint stash, and I just went ahead and primered this frame. And then after I got that done, I had to let it dry, and I used one of those Dollar Tree buffalo check plaid scarves. I had several of these on hand, and I just cut out an 8x10 size of this scarf because what I want to do is make a pretty little tray. I saw these actually at Target, and I almost picked one up, but I also knew that I could DIY this, and so I just went ahead and cut it out to fit the size of the frame, and it was super easy, you guys. I put the glass back in, and I did have to make a little repair on this frame. That Dollar Tree frame was not the sturdiest one that I've ever bought, and so then once I got the glass back in, I just put the scarf piece in, and then I went ahead and put the backing back on. I did pull off the picture frame part of the tray to make it more of a tray, and so this was the perfect little small tray. I added this beautiful picture of my husband and I and our kiddos, and I love the colors. I felt like it matched perfectly in with the centerpiece that I'm creating. Comment and let me know what you think about this beautiful rustic glam transitional holiday centerpiece. I'm absolutely loving it. It's definitely in the neutrals, but I'm really digging it. I am so excited to share with you this Bath & Body Works candle lid and candle base upcycle. So I've had this floating around in my brain for a couple of weeks, and I wasn't for sure how to execute it, but now I think I've got the perfect solution. So to start out with, I'm just using this Krylon Metallic Brilliant Gold. I found this at Walmart. I want to spray all of my candle lids and these cute little votive bases. Several of these I got at Dollar Tree, and then the other one I think was a gift from someone else, but I want to spray them all the same color because they're going to go back on top of my candle bases. And so I'm just going ahead and spraying the tops really well. Now that I have them spray painted and they've dried, I'm just going in with some of that Dollar Tree Mod Podge, and I want to cover the entire top of the candle lid. And then I'm just going to go in with that glitter that I found on sale at Walmart. It was $2 for this entire thing of glitter. I was so excited. It's so festive and perfect for a little bit of glitz and glam with the holidays. And I went ahead and glitzed and glammed up and glittered all of my candle lids. Now I only did the top because I'm going to go around the sides of these with some gems. And I did have these little gold goblets, but you all could also use a wine glass from the Dollar Tree or the thrift store and spray paint that gold as well. So I wanted to glitz and glam this up. You all could just leave it plain gold, but I did want to go for a really sparkly, glitzy, glammy look for my table. I think it's really fun to go ahead and go a little bit over the top for the holidays with some sparkling glitter. Okay, now look at how beautiful and sparkling this is. I just really love to get super glam during the holidays and go for that bit of glitz. I'm actually going to be using this in kind of a rustic glam woodland display, but this is definitely going to be the sparkling part. Okay, so now just grab your E6000 glue and you're going to go around the edge of your candle lid with the E6000 glue. So I did this and I worked about half of the candle lid with the E6000 glue, and then that way the other half I could still hold in my hand while I applied the first layer of jewels. So once you have your glue on, you can just go ahead and put your jewels on. Now I found these jewels at Walmart. I think it's like $9 for a huge giant box full. They also have jewels at Dollar Tree if you guys want to pick some up there. But I'm just kind of randomly placing them with different sizes as I go along. You all could pick out the exact sizes if you wanted, but I thought it looked kind of neat to be a little bit artistic and just kind of go along the edges. Now I did want to make sure that the jewels lined up with the bottom part of the lid, and so I left the excess part of the jewels sticking out at the top, and that way when I set them down they can fit perfectly on a table or a countertop or a buffet or whatever you're setting your beautiful candlestick on. I also wanted you all to know that after I got done glittering my candle lids and my candlestick bases, the little goblets, I did use some hairspray to go ahead and seal some of that glitter. I did still have some fallout, which is okay with me. I don't mind a little glitter sprinkled about, but I just want to let you guys know you can go ahead and do that. Now look at how beautiful this is. This one is dry already and they turn out so gorgeous, and the E6000 really works really well. And I just pick up my E6000 at Walmart. It's about, I believe, about $3. So now I'm just laying all the lids out now that I have my jewels on, and I'm gonna go ahead and glue the base of this candlestick down, which is just my goblet that I'm flipping over. And so I'm putting E6000 along the lip of the candlestick base and then around the top. And I was so excited because these lids just fit absolutely perfectly, and look at how beautiful this is coming out. I just love this, and this basically for me, I had everything on hand. I already had the glitter, the jewels, and of course the candle lids. I had been saving up since the beginning of fall with the different fall candles that I had been gifted or had been burning. And I was just so excited to find out that I could use these and repurpose them after I was done using the candles. I am absolutely in love with the result on this. Number one, I had everything on hand, and number two, I think these are absolutely gorgeous, and this is something that you would see at a Pier 1 import, so it would probably sell for about $25 a piece. It's a perfect way to upcycle what you already have and really add some sparkle and shine to your holiday table, and I even think that this could be taken into a winter setting as well. Now for this DIY, I just wanted to use a Dollar Tree piece of wire. I chose the gold because I already had this on hand, and I just snipped it off. This is about 8 inches of the wire, and what I want to do is create a beautiful fluffy feather ornament. So I'm just taking one of the Dollar Tree feather boas, and I'm putting a dab of hot glue to the top part of this wire, and then I'm just going to wrap the feather boa around the wire. Now, I saw some of these ornaments on the Pottery Barn website and they were about $14, and I really thought that we could recreate this in just a beautiful and really classy way and super inexpensive. And so one of the feather boas created a fairly large ornament, and I was able to use one feather boa and create 3 of these ornaments. So I just wrapped it around and added a tiny bit of glue to the top and the bottom, and that keeps that feather boa on. It was a bit of a messy project, but it came out so beautiful, a perfect way to add some fluff to your tree and to create a really beautiful ornament, definitely on the cheap. You guys, this is definitely our boutique budget for sure. So I think another thing you could do with this DIY too would be to add a pretty ribbon to the top and maybe a drippy chandelier crystal to the base of this. But these were so pretty and so fluffy and absolutely perfect for your Christmas tree. And now on this super rainy day of crafting, I'm going to go ahead and stop for a coffee break, and I had to add some chocolate chips to the bottom of my coffee and a little bit of marshmallows to kind of give it that hot chocolatey flavor. And this is a little splurge and a treat, but also needed on this rainy crafty day. So for this DIY, I'm just going in with a Bath & Body Works candle that I wasn't using anymore. It had burnt down to the very bottom, and I'm going to save my wax and use it in my wax warmer. But I had just put this candle in the freezer, and that actually made it super easy to pop the wax out. And now I'm just going in with my Mrs. Meyer's Mum flavored scent to rinse off that bottom lid. And you guys, I am so in love with the Mrs. Meyer's scent right now. It is so delicious in the Mum. If you guys have a chance to try it, definitely go for it. And I do have a coupon code for that below. So I'm just finishing rinsing it out, and now I'm going in with a tiny bit of Goo Gone, and that's just going to get the rest of the waxy candle residue off. I believe you could also use some nail polish remover as well, and once I have all of that off, I'm washing it one more time with the soap. And for this, I just want to use some of that beautiful Dollar Tree white satin ribbon. This DIY is super easy, but I felt like it came out really classy and really nice, something that you would see like on a Macy's countertop, just with this simple white bow tied around. So I just first tied the ribbon around the center part of the Bath & Body Works candle jar. You guys can also get really nice jars at the Dollar Tree as well. And then I'm adding a tiny bit of hot glue to the top so my ribbon doesn't move around too much. And then I also wanted to go in and just glam it up a little bit more by adding one more beautiful satin ribbon to the top part of this bow. So I just tied a very easy shoelace bow, and then I'm dovetailing the ends of my ribbon here because I want it to give kind of that really finished boutique look. And I went ahead and left those extra 2 tails on. And what I really love about repurposing these jar lids, making them into these candlesticks, is that the Bath & Body Works candle bases fit perfectly on here, so you guys could definitely use these for your candles. As you see, I have one kind of in the back that we did in another DIY, but I'm just putting some beautiful ornaments that I found at Dollar Tree in these candlestick bases for now. I've also thought about creating a beautiful winter floral and using them as a centerpiece. But just for this DIY for today, I just wanted to share with you guys how easy you guys can make this beautiful little glittering, glitzy glam space with these Dollar Tree ornaments. I also picked up just a couple of those angel wings. My Dollar Tree had put them out last week, and I couldn't resist grabbing a couple of those. They're kind of like a pinkish rose gold color, and so I definitely had to get some of those. And my daughter also fell in love with those too, so she's going to get some of those for her Christmas tree. But I'm just adding them into this bowl, and I think it would be a really beautiful centerpiece to do for a winter decor. I think this this is also good transitional winter decor before we get full on into Christmas. But look at how beautiful this is. It is definitely very glittering, and I do think that it would be beautiful too to take maybe like an evergreen and wrap that in and around some of this to kind of break up a little bit of the glitter. But if you're into glam and glitz, this is definitely where it's at. I think these came out so classy and so sparkling, and I really think you can get away with this much glitter during the holidays. Comment and let me know what you all think. I just really think they're kind of a showstopper and just a really beautiful way to repurpose and reuse what you already have, which you guys know I absolutely love to do. And there's that Dollar Tree centerpiece that we created in one of my last DIY videos. I will link that down below. I used everything from the Dollar Tree to create this woodland centerpiece, and I really feel like it came out gorgeous. You all were loving it. I used those Dollar Tree Christmas trees as my white base for the garland, and then just added pine cones and tons of ribbon and glitz and glam. And again, there's those big Dollar Tree ornaments with all of the sparkles and kind of the little mirror flecks on it, and those are amazing, you guys, for $1 at Hobby Lobby or TJ Maxx or Pier 1 Imports. Those would definitely be about $5 to $7 a piece. So look at how beautiful this is looking. I think this is perfect. I think it looks absolutely gorgeous. This could definitely pass for Christmas, but I also feel like it's a great transitional piece as we're transitioning from Halloween fall time into the winter months. And then I really feel like you could even get away with it after Christmas, just by changing and tweaking a couple of things. Maybe create a rose floral in one of these votives, and that would transition you into the winter holidays. And it would also give you a little bit of sparkle for your table, which is kind of a nice thing to have after Christmas and once you pull out some of the big garlands, just to have a little sparkle to cheer us up through those long winter months. Started creating my wreath base. I just went in with this Dollar Tree wreath base form. This is $1 at the Dollar Tree, and I already had this Dollar Tree evergreen garland on hand. But if you all have an evergreen wreath base, definitely use that. They sell them for about $4 or $5, I know, at Walmart. But you guys, I love to reuse what I already had, and I went ahead and dug into my Christmas stash early and found this garland, and I just knew it would work perfectly on this wreath base. So I'm just wrapping it around and looping it around. For this wreath, I'm creating that winter wonderland, so I just want to take some vintage pink spray paint, and I'm using those Dollar Tree daisies, and I'm just spray painting the front and backs of these. You guys, I already had these daisies on hand and this spray paint, so I'm really trying to repurpose and reuse what I have. And then Dollar Tree also carries paint, so I'm just using a mixture of white paint and a dab of Mod Podge. What I want to do is I want to kind of just layer this on top of the spray paint, and that way I'm creating kind of a snowy effect. And if you want to take it a step further, which is what I did, I just combined some Epsom salt and some glitter and sprinkled that on to the daisy after I was finished. I want to create this kind of really vintage winter white glam snowy wonderland with these flowers. So I hope you guys are catching my drift. Now, the next thing I wanted to share with you guys is I had this Dollar Tree ribbon, and it was left over from Christmas last year. I also had some left over from Halloween and spring, so these were all kind of random colors. I just took some of Mr. Romantic's camo paint, and it was a flat, just kind of tan paint, and I painted right on top of that ribbon. And then I'm taking some of that Dollar Tree white paint, and I'm just kind of going over the ribbon as well. So I'm just used a layer of paint on with the spray paint, and then another layer of paint with the white paint. You don't have to completely cover your ribbon, and this is totally an optional step. I just wanted to reuse this ribbon, and I also wanted to kind of transform it and mute the colors, and I felt like this was the easiest way to do it. So obviously I already had that spray paint on hand, and then I'm just making that combination of the Epsom salt and the glitter, and I'm just going to lightly dust the ribbon with that. Now this did have some fallout on the ribbon, but it really created the most gorgeous winter wonderland snowy effect, which is really what I'm going for this holiday look on this wreath. You guys comment and let me know what you think. This definitely does take some time to brush everything with white paint and glitter over it, but it's so well worth it and such an easy and cheap way to transform. So once I have my wreath base form ready and all of my florals painted and glittered up, I want to go ahead and lay them out kind of in plates after they're all dry, and I group them by color palette. So you can see I have some of those Dollar Tree white ornaments, I have a little bit of deco mesh, I also had a couple of gold florals that I added a snowy appearance to left over from fall, and some other Dollar Tree fruit that we painted in another DIY that I'll link down below. And there's those pine cones we painted, and then some of those Dollar Tree gold and kind of coppery rose gold ornaments. And then here is our ribbon. Now we're not going to use all of these items in this one wreath project, but I do love to go ahead and group the different items that I may want to choose from when I go about starting a project. So that just gives me kind of an idea of the color palette, which is that vintage winter wonderland with kind of these muted neutrals. Now that we have our wreath form base ready, we're just going to make our big fluffy bow for our wreath. So you're just going to take your wired ribbon, and this is that Dollar Tree ribbon that we painted, and you're going to pull it out and loop it over on itself. And you continue to loop it over on itself until you see 3 loops. So this is what I call the Olivia bow, just so you guys can reference it. I did a big bow tutorial that I will link down below, but this bow is so easy and it comes out so beautiful and fluffy and glam. And now that you have all of the 3 loops ready, you just find the center point of the bow and you make 2 tiny notches on each side of your ribbon. Make sure they're just itty bitty tiny notches. Don't cut very far into your ribbon, otherwise you'll really mess up this bow. So I know you guys can do this. Just cut those little tiny notches and then get some string or wire or pipe cleaner or whatever you can find that you have on hand, and find your center, and then you're going to go ahead and tie your bow right here at the center. So I just chose some string and I'm tying it really good in the center, and then that's going to give me the ability to go ahead and fluff that bow out really well. You can see me pulling the loops out of my bow. That's all you have to do on this bow, you guys, is pull those loops out and then attach them to your wreath form. So I usually like to attach my bow kind of off center to the right, is how I did for this one. And then what you want to do is grab some of your larger florals and add those first. So I'm using 3 of those Dollar Tree painted daisy picks that you all saw, and stay with me, you guys. This wreath is going to come out really super gorgeous and amazing. They already had clips on the back, so there was no need even to hot glue. I just clipped them directly into the wreath. And then I wanted to take one of those Dollar Tree Christmas trees, and I actually broke off the top part of the Christmas tree because I wanted this bigger, fluffier part. And I'm just going to add this into kind of the base of the wreath because I have my bow up to the right that's off center, and I want to put kind of another bow down to the left. We're going to make a really big dramatic statement piece with this wreath. This, of course, is totally optional. If you guys just want to do a round wreath, that would be fine as well. So I'm just tying this on to the wreath base form with the branches that are already on that Dollar Tree Christmas tree. And that Dollar Tree Christmas tree was actually pretty easy to break off. So I just wanted this smaller top part. Now that I have that smaller top part attached, I'm just adding 2 loops of this bow, and this was that Dollar Tree ribbon that we painted as well. And I'm using some wire, and I'm just going to wire this on kind of in and around where we added that Christmas tree, and that's also going to kind of secure that Christmas tree on there as well. Now Now you guys can see I kind of fluffed that bow and then kind of just edged it and glued it up there to the top. And now I'm going to add some ornament clusters. So I've got those big Dollar Tree kind of mirror ball white ornaments, and then I just added in some smaller ones to that. So when I do a wreath, I usually like to start with my big florals and ornaments first, and I put those on, and then I work some of the smaller pieces and accent pieces in and around that. I hope that helps you guys when you're creating your wreaths. And now I want to go ahead and add in some of those beautiful frosted pine cones. I'm really loving the way these look, and they also bring that festive holiday spirit into this. So for this wreath, I did use those daisies, which are a little bit unusual, but I think that they have those muted winter colors, and with the ornaments and also the pine cones, I think it's looking very festive and very wintry, wonderland, glam kind of rustic neutrals. So you guys saw me add in a couple more evergreen picks, and then I'm going to add a little bit more bow to the center of this top bow. I'm just looping it around and doing a smaller Olivia bow and then adding it into the center of this bow just for a little bit of drama and effect. Now for the original bow, I used the widest ribbon, and that's usually how I go about doing my wreaths, is I'll use the largest ribbon first, and then I'll add a smaller ribbon into the center of that. And these are both wired ribbons that you can find at Dollar Tree, and they're painted, and I just love how beautiful and muted they are. To me, they look very, very high end. And of course, if you all like the bolder colors for Christmas, go for that. You guys can choose whatever color palette that you love to create this exact same kind of wreath. Now I'm just adding some zhuzh to this top part of this bow up here. So Dollar Tree sells those berries, and I had grabbed some red berries and then just frosted them with a little bit of white paint. And so I added that to the center of my bow. And then also I really love to add fruits into some of my winter creations. I feel like it looks very kind of Victorian holiday. So there's that frosted fruit that we created in our fall DIY. And remember, I had a piece of garland left over. I did want to fluff this out just a little bit, so I'm taking the garland and looping it in and around this entire wreath base. I didn't pull it tight to the wreath because I kind of wanted it to hang out and give the wreath kind of a fake appearance of being a little bit fluffier and full. So right now I'm just adding in some more pine cones and greenery, and then I'm going to take some of those Dollar Tree angel wings. They come in white and also rose gold, and I'm just going to take them actually and I'm going to break them apart. So they break apart fairly easily at the center, and what I really love about these is that they have a really nice dimension if you kind of use them to pick in and around your wreath. Or your garland, and they look beautiful together as well. But this wreath just kind of needed something small that was kind of giving it some dimension, so I added one up here at the top, and then I'm going to come underneath and add another one at the base, kind of to offset it. So you guys can see how we have our ribbon up on the top right and then another ribbon down on the top left. I kind of like to do that when I work on a wreath. And then we're going to go in with that Dollar Tree poinsettia. I love this one, and I thought it was perfect because it had that gold sparkling center, nice and fluffy and full and very glam and rustic neutral, beautiful. Dollar Tree is also carrying those white poinsettias. They're smaller. So now that I've got a lot of the wreath base done, I'm coming in with a lot of my smaller florals and picks. And then I couldn't resist adding a Dollar Tree rose up there to the center part of the bow. I really love to do that. And I'm just picking in some more of those daisies that we painted, adding in some more pine cones as I go along to keep in with that rustic feel. So So there I'm going in with some of those rose gold ornaments, those angel wings. I actually pulled the white fur off of those because one of you all suggested that you were doing that. So I thought that that would actually be perfect because they have really beautiful detail. They're pretty, I feel like, either way. But that detail was just so pretty when I pulled that fur off. So I'm adding it in and around the bow. You guys can see that. And I do end up adding some more in and around the top. Now remember, I'm using a lot of metallics, so I'm using some of those Dollar Tree gold smaller balls in and around some of these clusters as well. And I really think it's coming out super beautiful. The inspiration behind this piece, actually, in my town, we have what we call Big Cedar Lodge, and it's just really beautiful and really rustic but very glamorous. And there was a wedding being held at Big Cedar, and so just that idea of kind of a winter wedding bride, I know that sounds kind of crazy, you guys, but I just feel like this is so beautiful and perfect, very high-end and boutique, and everything is from the Dollar Tree. You gotta love that. Another tip I want to share with you all is don't be afraid to use different seasonal decor with your winter creations. So this actually, I'm using a Dollar Tree gold pumpkin. I just flipped it upside down and I had brushed a bit of white paint on top of that too, just to give it that snowy appearance. And then I'm breaking off limb by limb the rest of that Dollar Tree evergreen Christmas tree that I had. I just took some wire cutters and cut them off piece by piece because I wanted to pick them in at the end to give this wreath still that really woodland glam feeling of being on like a really high-end Colorado vacation or wedding or Big Cedar Lodge type feel. But definitely we're doing this on a tiny budget. So I'm loving this, you guys. Everything is from the Dollar Tree. And this is another ribbon I'm going to pick in. So remember, we start with our big ribbons and items at the beginning. Now this is a smaller ribbon. I'm just kind of looping it around, and I'm just going to add a tiny bit over here to the side. It's basically kind of a whisper of a ribbon. You're not going to see very much of it unless you're looking really closely at the wreath, but it is going to give your eye something to dance over. So now lastly, I do like to add a character or some kind of something to the wreath to give it a little bit more zhuzh. So those Dollar Tree had those deer antler heads. I did take off kind of the base around it. It just pulls right off. It had kind of like a evergreen. It looked a bit cheap to me, so I pulled that part off just to where it was the white base of the deer head, and I added him to the center of that. I know this is a very glamorous wreath, but I do feel like in a lodge or at a winter wedding you would see something like that. And so also to go along with the deer head, I just added a tiny Dollar Tree pine cone up there at the top, and then I could not resist giving our deer head a friend with the Dollar Tree deer that I picked into there. So here is a close-up of the finished product. There is that Dollar Tree deer head, and in and around all of these beautiful sparkling Dollar Tree ornaments, those painted daisies, that beautiful white poinsettia with the gold center. I added in some berries and then some of that Dollar Tree painted fruit. We just glittered it and added a bit of paint to that, as well as the ribbon and the beautiful sparkling Dollar Tree deer. I am so over the moon in love with this. And then if you guys can see the angel wing, the sparkling kind of rose gold angel wing, it just gives us that tiny bit of kind of vintage pink to go along with some of that vintage pink ribbon and daisy that we painted. So we're adding in that pink, but it's very subtle and very delicate and very woodland rustic glam. And also I wanted to show you guys how it looked out in the sun. You can see a little bit of more of the colors a bit better. So I hope you guys are loving this. I did leave this video a little bit long just because I know you guys love to see me work, and stay tuned because I have tons more wreaths, garlands, and Christmas DIYs on the way. And so you guys stay tuned because a lot of these DIYs you guys can change around and fit towards your color. So I asked you guys in the last video what kind of colors you're doing for Christmas, and you guys had so many different varieties. So without further ado, let's jump into the 6 DIY Dollar Tree Christmas decor ideas. For this Dollar Tree DIY, I took my inspiration from a wreath that I saw at the Pier 1 website for this 2018 holiday season. The wreath on the Pier 1 site was $79.99, and I did this wreath for about $5. So the first thing that you all want to do is go ahead and take one of those Dollar Tree white automotive cloths, and then you're just going to cut it into strips. And I ended up cutting about 4 strips. And what we're going to do is, after we get done cutting the strips, we want to hot glue the strips end to end to kind of make like a snowy ribbon effect. So you're just going to hot glue your 4 strips of white fabric together, and then once you have them all hot glued together, you're going to use one of those Dollar Tree wreath form bases. They have these at the Dollar Tree. They're a really nice size. So what you want to do is flip it over and work with the wreath from the back. So you just find a spot on the wreath to start with and hot glue the first little section together, and then basically this one is so easy. You just wrap it around the wreath, and I did kind of hot glue it as I went around in some different spots just to make sure that that white fabric kind of stayed in place. You should be able to cover this entire wreath form base with 1 automotive cloth. Now, if you wanted to make it a little bit fluffier, of course you could use 2, but I was able to use 1, so far we've only spent $2 on this beautiful wreath. So the next thing you want to do is go ahead and take some of the larger sparkling Dollar Tree ornaments. So I bought 3 packs, and I bought several different sizes because you're going to want to have some larger sizes and also some smaller sizes. But to start the wreath out, you just want to go ahead and kind of bundle several of the larger sizes together. And I'm just using this silver wired pipe cleaner, and I'm going to use that to wire this first bundle on, and then for the rest of the ornaments I'm just going to hot glue them in together. And you guys saw me hot gluing the top part of those Dollar Tree ornaments. It's not a bad idea to go ahead and add a tiny touch of the glue to those larger ornaments so they don't pop out of place. And then once you have your bundle all together, you're just going to twist it and then tie it on. Super easy. So now that I have my larger bundle on, I'm just kind of going in with some of the smaller ornament sizes, and the one on the Pier 1 website used all pretty much the same colors of gold, but I am doing kind of a mix of metallics in some of my holiday decor this year, so I used some of the gold, copper, and silver tones together, and I feel like it came out really beautiful. So there's really not a super huge rhyme or reason, except for you just want to kind of, it's almost like a puzzle piece as far as fitting those ornaments in together. So you'll kind of do a larger one and then use the smaller Christmas ornaments to fill in where the larger gaps are going to be. For this total project, I think I maybe used 20 ornaments. And so those packs of Dollar Tree ornaments usually come about 10 to 12 a pack, so you guys can definitely do this really easy. And if you wanted to get really crazy, you could do the entire wreath form with all the ornaments. But like I said, I took some inspiration from that Pier 1 website, and I went ahead and just did it at the base of this and then hung it from the top. And I think this is going to be really beautiful and really simple for my holiday decor. So once you have all of your ornaments on, you can just go through, find a little space in the top part of your wreath, and you're going to pull a pipe cleaner through the top and then just kind of twisty tie it together, and that will give you something to hang your wreath from. So I am so in love with this. I think it's really simple and really elegant, and I feel like the price point is absolutely amazing. I think it looks beautiful for $5 versus $80. You guys know me, I love to save a buck, and I am really pleased with how this came out so much. In fact, I may actually do another one to match this one and use it maybe on my cabinets. For the next Dollar Tree DIY, we are going to create an oversized Victorian style ornament. So you just want to grab one of those really large ornaments from the Dollar Tree. This is just a plain gold ball, and then I used some of the white satin ribbon for this project and also some of that lace that they sell at the Dollar Tree. So you're just going to hot glue the top of your satin ribbon and then hot glue a little bit further down, and then you're going to wrap your satin ribbon around. And I usually like to also hot glue a spot on the very bottom of the ornament, and then I'm going to continue to wrap until I get back over to the top and then hot glue it at the top. And basically what you're going to do is you're just going to kind of crisscross the ribbons. So I start in one spot with the first ribbon, and then I'll go down the absolutely opposite spot of the other side and just continue to crisscross this pattern around. So you all could do 2 ribbons or 3 ribbons or 4 or 5, however fancy you want to get with this and however much ribboning you really want to do. So there's that Dollar Tree kind of crochet lace ribbon that I'm going in with. I'm going to be using this in a garland that I'm going to be sharing with you all how to DIY a Dollar Tree garland, and it's going to be really full and really fancy. So for that fancy full effect, I really wanted to create this beautiful personalized kind of styled ornament. So Dollar Tree is also carrying these kind of glittered white hydrangeas, which I absolutely am in love with. I think it looks very high end. So I'm just gluing some of these hydrangeas to the top. Just clip them off and individually kind of pick them in. So then once I get done adding the hydrangeas to the top, I'm just kind of creating this little loopy bow, and then I'm going to add that to the top and kind of let it cascade down the front. So this is some of that Dollar Tree ribbon that has the gold lettering, and this says peace, love, and joy, which I love. And then I'm tying just a regular shoelace bow with the Dollar Tree satin ribbon in the white still, and I'm adding that to the center of my kind of loopy bow that I tied. Now, once I have all of my ribbon on, I just want to go in with some detail and glam it up. And of course, this is an extra step that you don't have to do, but I'm adding in some bling to the bottom. I'm just adding a big dollop of hot glue and some of those jewels and gems that I've been using in a bunch of my DIYs, just to kind of finish the space off on the bottom, give it some interest. And also I'm going to go in with some of that Dollar Tree greenery. I love this greenery. Dollar Tree has the best greenery because you can cut it into pieces and use it for some of those smaller detailed projects. So that's definitely one of my tips, to grab some of their greenery and just break it apart to use it in some smaller projects. So I'm going in with the greenery, and then lastly I did go in with a little bit more jewels and gems, and then just some extra pearls that I kind of had floating around I centered into the greenery as well. And I love how fancy this is. I think it's going to be absolutely perfect for a very romantic and very glamorous, luxury, elegant Christmas garland that we're going to create next week. This Dollar Tree DIY, we're going to take some of those pink cowgirl hats that are actually party favors that you find in the kids section. So these come 5 to a pack, and I'm just going in with some of Mr. Romantic's camo spray paint. This is kind of a flat tan color, and I also did some in that vintage pink. This one is in the vintage pink, and then I'm dry brushing, which means I just have a little bit of paint on the end of my brush. I'm dry brushing over the painted children's hat with some white paint. I want to give it kind of that snowy effect. I've been doing this a lot. You guys saw this in my wreath video that I did, and also with some of my painted pine cones. I really love that look. I feel like it looks very wintry and kind of high end. And then I mixed up some Epsom salt and some glitter, and I'm just glittering the top of this hat, and it comes out really beautiful and really sparkling. So I did a couple of different colors of spray paint, but I'm going in uniformly, and I'm adding in a tiny bit of that Dollar Tree greenery. They have this in either a garland or picks. Either one will work great. And then Dollar Tree also had that little bit of greenery that I pieced off, and some of those berries. So there's 3 different kinds of things that I'm using here, and of course you all can customize this to whatever colors you're using. So these could be red or black or just whatever color you love, go for that. And then of course I had to add a little bit of glitz and glam with some of this gold piece too that I found at Dollar Tree. So they sell this also in the floral section, and it is a great one to pick up to add some glitz and glam to some of your projects. For the next Dollar Tree DIY, I wanted to create an actual ribbon with this buffalo check plaid scarf. So Dollar Tree, I was so excited to see that they're carrying this print. I'm actually going to use this in some of my decor. Even though I am doing more of the pastels, I'm going to use this in some of the man cave decor for Christmas. And so what you want to do is cut the infinity scarf in half, and then you're going to go down the line of the buffalo check plaid print, and you're just going to cut the entire thing. So what I want to do is use this as ribbon. It's a great way to use this in garlands. You can use it in centerpieces. You can use it just about in any kind of decor. You could wrap it around a wreath. So I'm just sharing this beautiful swag that I'm going to show you guys how to make also in this video. But I did tie this in a bow, and I just picked this into this swag, and it really gave it kind of that farmhouse rustic feel. For the next Dollar Tree DIY, I want to share with you guys how to take that buffalo check plaid scarf that we just cut apart. This really does make a lot of ribbon. Now, of course, it's not wired, so it is a little bit floppy, but it is really soft and snuggly, which I love. So just take one of those Dollar Tree garlands and then that Dollar Tree pipe cleaner and wrap it around the end of your garland, and then you can just kind of take the scarf and loop it in and around the evergreen garland. So I think this is a really nice thing to use maybe for a mantle that you're not doing a huge display on, or maybe also a centerpiece. I think this would be really nice because it's not super huge, but it does give a really beautiful festive look. I did see in Victorian magazine that they were actually combining some of this buffalo check plaid with a really fancy table decor with roses and whatnot. So I'm thinking about doing something like that myself. I do love this buffalo check plaid. I just can't resist it, you guys. So you're gonna see this somewhere in and around some of my holiday decor. For this Dollar Tree DIY, we're just going to take 2 of those Dollar Tree Christmas trees. I actually shared with you guys how to paint the Dollar Tree Christmas trees in my I Love Christmas series. I believe it was episode 2, but I will link all of those episodes down below in case you all missed this one. So you just want to take some of the branches and kind of loop them in together, and then to secure it a little bit further, you're going to take and you're just going to wrap a pipe cleaner around the base of it. And what we're creating here is going to be a beautiful swag that you can use on your front door, you can use on the wall. There's so many different ways that you can use this, and also so many different color combinations that you will all use with this. So I'm also going to be going in with just a touch of the Dollar Tree Evergreen. This is just their evergreen garland. I did want to plump this up just a bit. So far you guys can see I have 2 of the Dollar Tree Christmas trees, and you guys can definitely use the green Christmas trees because we're going to use so many bows and ornaments in this that you're really not going to see a whole lot of the base. But I did go in with that garland and just kind of looped it around to kind of fill it out and also give it some greenery effect. Again, you guys, I am just using what I have on hand, and I did do this DIYs with the painted Christmas trees, but again, you guys don't have to use painted Christmas trees at all. So the next thing I want to do is I had these Dollar Tree large red bows. So I just cut the tails off of it, and I'm going to add that to the top of my swag. This is a really great trick to make your bow go further. And then remember those ribbon, the Dollar Tree ribbon that we painted in my last Dollar Tree DIY? I'm just going to add this off to the side, and then I'm going to kind of run it in and around down the side of the swag. So I'm doing this kind of a bit off center. And then I'm taking that buffalo check plaid print that we just created, and I'm tying that in with the garland as well, and then I'm kind of ruching them together, and then I'm just going to kind of wind them down the front of this. Again, remember, you all can use whatever colors that you love and whatever colors that make your heart sparkle and shine. This is going to be for Mr. Romantic's man cave, and he is very manly, and so I definitely want to use a lot of bolder colors with this. Now, I did go in with a bit of gold to really make that red pop. Dollar Tree has this really pretty kind of sheer gold ribbon that I picked up, and I'm really loving it because it's not super bright. And then they also have this nautical rope, which I thought looked really kind of cowboyish, and so I just am looping that in with all of these ribbons as well. Now you can see I'm going into the center of my ribbon, and to kind of tone down the brightness of the red sparkly bow, I'm using a bit more of that ribbon that we painted, and this is just a regular little shoelace bow that I kind of just looped together, and then I'm tying that on with a pipe cleaner into the center of this ribbon to give it some dimension and also to tone down the brightness of the red. And then I'm looping it off to the left side. So we looped a bunch off to the right hand side, and now I'm just kind of looping and curving it off to this left side. And then I want to take one of those large gold Dollar Tree ornament balls, and I'm just going to tie that on with some pipe cleaner as well. This is going to kind of be the large center point down here, but this is also going to get kind of tied in and looped around. Now you can see I'm adding some of the Dollar Tree smaller gold ornament balls. Now I really wish that I would have had a little bit more of a red ornament to add in with this. I don't have a ton of red on hand, and remember, I'm just using what I have on hand, but I do think that it's coming out beautiful so far. And also I'm adding back in those tails. So remember that really bright sparkly bow that we cut the tails off of? I'm adding in these tails to kind of trick your eye and make you think that there's a lot more greenery and that this is a lot fuller than it is. And now I just tied the Dollar Tree scarf. Actually, we made this into the ribbon, but this was originally from that scarf piece that we DIY'd earlier, and then I'm just kind of looping that in and around as well. Now you all can see that my style is very full and over the top, and at any point you guys don't want this kind of full arrangement, you can definitely stop at any point, but I do like to continue to add things. This is again making me think of like a big cedar lodge and how kind of fancy but rustic you can see with their decor. Now I'm adding in some of that Dollar Tree greenery again in and around the front part of this to give it a fuller appearance as well. And then I also had a tiny bit of greenery from the thrift store. I actually think this greenery might have been vintage because it was kind of a weird plastic, but I did like the way that it kind of draped down just a bit, so I'm just picking that in because I do want to give it kind of more of that fuller kind of greenery, evergreen, Colorado Lodge feel. And then at the top part, I just went in with some more of that brown nautical rope because I do want to just give that some more dimension up there. And then of course I could not resist adding in that little red truck. So this is an ornament that they're selling at Dollar Tree that I think is absolutely adorable. I did take off the Merry Christmas that was underneath the red truck. I felt like that made it look a little bit classier, which you guys, whatever you like is completely fine, but I did want to just add that in without the Merry Christmas, and then maybe save the Merry Christmas for a different project. Now remember, I did dry brush some of these pine cones in a different DIY, and of course I could not resist into this kind of woodland rustic farmhousey swag. I wanted to add in definitely some pine cones and a little bit of red berries, and then even some red pom-poms I had on hand, so I just picked some of that in. So I am really loving this. I think this is going to be perfect for Mr. Romantic's man cave. I am going to do a green tree with a lot of more manly colors in there, but I think it feels very Colorado, very lodge style, and I just could not resist the buffalo check plaid. And of course that little red truck, which you guys are seeing everywhere. It's super popular this season, and I am just loving this. I think it came out really beautiful and really very high end, with pretty much everything being from the Dollar Tree. So comment and let me know what you all think. I have so many DIYs to share with you all with so many different holiday styles. For this Dollar Tree wreath, we are going to take one of those Dollar Tree foam wreath bases and we are going to wrap it in the Dollar Tree evergreen, and I just twist tied on with a pipe cleaner that first link of this garland, and then I'm just going to loop it around this entire wreath. It pretty much stays on its own, and then once you get done you can go ahead and tie the other end on with another pipe cleaner. Once you have your wreath base all ready, I'm going to go ahead and go in with this sparkling Dollar Tree star. What I want to create here is a really beautiful rustic woodland wreath. So I'm just tying that buffalo check plaid scarf in a bow from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to use that as the base, but the first thing I want to do is I want to extend the wreath out because it's rather small, and I'm going to use one of those Dollar Tree Christmas trees that I painted. This is that red one, and I'm just going to tie it on to the edge, kind of catty corner to the star, and I used 2 pipe cleaners to tie this on. Now this step is totally optional. I just like to go really full and big, and then to secure it just a little bit better, I am using that Dollar Tree buffalo check plaid scarf. It's an infinity scarf that I cut in half and then cut even a bit smaller, and now I'm just dovetailing the ends, and then I want to kind of up to the left just kind of loop it up and add a dab of hot glue to hold it on securely. in some of that Dollar Tree red sparkling ribbon in the back. You all see that. And then in the front, I'm just tying in through the star some of that Dollar Tree red ribbon that I painted with a little bit of dusting of white paint. That's in another DIY video that I will link down below. And then here is the other part of that buffalo plaid infinity scarf. This is actually the same scarf. If you just cut it in half, it'll give you a lot more length. Now I'm tying an Olivia bow with the burlap. This is a wired Dollar Tree polka dot ribbon. I love this. So just tie your Olivia bow, which means you just loop the ribbon together, and I will also leave my bow tutorial down below. And then you notch it at the center, and then you can just tie it on with a pipe cleaner and fluff out your loops. Just looped the buffalo plaid check scarf in and around and up towards the top part of the left hand side of the wreath because I want to continue that pattern up to the left hand side. And now I'm just adding in the Dollar Tree nautical rope. I added some to the center part of the bow and then also down here on the left as well, and I just tied a shoelace bow on to the one down on the left. Now to balance things out, we'll just go in with that Dollar Tree polka dot ribbon, and I'm just tying that around the base part of this bow. I'm adding a dab of hot glue, and then I'm going to loop it up and dovetail those ends. So then I wanted to add some more greenery. This wreath was a bit small for me, so I just tied in some more Dollar Tree garland. This is great to have on hand, and I'm just kind of looping it in and around some of the scarf and the bow parts. So I tied it on the back with a piece of pipe cleaner, and then you can see I'm just kind of looping it in and around some of the bows. Now remember those Dollar Tree cowboy hats that we found in the kids section? They were a bright hot pink, and we painted those and glittered those in my other DIY Christmas Dollar Tree video. I'm tying one of them on down to the left hand side in the center part of this bow. I just thought that looked so perfect with the rope and the buffalo check plaid scarf. It's really giving me kind of those super rustic vibes. And then I'm also tying one to the top. Now I just used a paper hole punch to hole punch a little hole in the top part of the hat. That way I could run a string through it. And now that I have a lot of the base of my wreath done, I'm going in with the smaller elements of this wreath. So remember that red truck that I took the Merry Christmas sign off of? I wanted to add the Merry Christmas sign into the center part of this bow. I thought it looked really vintage, rustic, and super cute. And then for the rest of that Dollar Tree Christmas tree that I took apart that was painted red, I just clipped off with my wire cutters some of the branches of that, and you can see that I'm going in with some of those branches just to give the wreath some dimension and some beautiful Christmassy color. Wanted to use up a lot of the red sparkling ribbon that I had, and you all know I love to go over the top, and of course you can recreate this however you like with whatever style you like. You could probably stop here, but I do like to really add a lot of detail and give your eye something to dance over. So I also had some Dollar Tree kind of burlappy ribbon that was red that was left over from a 4th of July wreath that I did this year. So I just wanted to pick that in and around some of the other ribbons. And then I did end up adding some more of those miniature red Dollar Tree ornaments, as well as some pine cones to this wreath to really fill it out and really give it that rustic woodland appearance. And it is actually going to go really perfect with that Dollar Tree swag that was kind of this same woodland that I used the little red truck on. I made it for Mr. Romantic's man cave, so now he'll have a matching wreath, and it's going to be so perfect and so festive. I think the colors are really beautiful, and this is perfect if you all are doing a rustic woodland theme. I'm also going back and forth in my mind and wondering if I should do red in my kitchen. So I definitely will have some options here. And so I hope you all are loving it, and comment and let me know if you all are doing some of this rustic woodland red, and if so, what rooms do you love to put these bolder colors in? Is the finished project. I think it looks absolutely stunning. It's very sparkling, it's very detailed. There's those pine cones that I told you about that I picked in, and I did pick in a little bit of evergreen off to the left, and there's those cute Dollar Tree hats that we painted, the beautiful ribbons that are just dancing around in and around all of these ornaments. It is very full and very over the top, and like I said, if you all like a little bit less full look, you can stop at any point, but you know me and I love to get really just glam and full, even if it's not a glam piece. But I hope you all are loving this, and I hope you are super inspired. For the next Dollar Tree DIY, I am just going to spray paint with my Rust-Oleum 2X spray paint in the vintage pink this Dollar Tree picture frame. It actually had a skull in it, and it was black, and I used it in some of my Halloween decor, but now I want to repurpose it for Christmas. So I'm just taking some of that Dollar Tree garland, and I'm using a pipe cleaner to loop it to the top part of this picture frame. So the picture frame came with like a little hanger at the top, and so I just want to loop it through so it stays nice and securely at the top. And then I'm going to add a huge dab of hot glue at the bottom, and then just kind of wind the picture frame back and forth across the back part of the frame, kind of actually framing the garland, I guess, if that makes sense. Be careful on this part too. If you all are sensitive to burns and hot glue, you may want to use a spatula to hot glue your evergreen on. So then once you have it on, I'm just making one of those ornament kind of bundles. So just take some of your favorite holiday ornaments that go along with your color palette. These are from Dollar Tree. They come in a 12 pack, and then of course that Glam sparkling ornament from Dollar Tree comes by itself. But you're just gonna loop that onto the back, and look, we framed this beautiful ornament. And you can stop here, but of course I had to get a little bit extra and go over the top. And my friend Lorena had bought me this huge thing of lace for my birthday, so you guys are going to see that in and around some of my videos. I definitely like to do a bit of a Victorian style, so I'm just going to create a bow for the base of this. So I used some of that Dollar Tree gold ribbon, and I looped one bit together, tied it on with a pipe cleaner, and then looped another bit together. And then I'm just going to add a huge dollop of hot glue because I do want this to stay on really well. And I'm just going to press that down into the hot glue. I think it will also give me the option if I want to remove it later and then just paint back over the frame. And then of course I love to dovetail my ends. And then there's that lace. Now this is a larger lace, and I didn't get it at Dollar Tree, but it was a gift from my best friend, and so I'm definitely going to be using it in some of my decor. You all can find lace at the thrift store, and you can also find it at Michael's. It's $10 for a huge roll, and then you can use your 50% off coupon and get it for about $5, and you'll have a ton of lace for all of your holiday projects if you all like that romantic style. So there it is, and then of course I did go in with some of this white satin ribbon that you get from Dollar Tree, and then also some of that detailed peace, joy, and love ribbon, and also some pearls in the center and a little bit of bling. So I've had this idea in my head floating around for a while to reuse these beautiful picture frames in some way, shape, or form. And what I think is you could really glam up a Christmas tree. If you do a really large tree, which my tree isn't quite this big, I don't know if it could handle something this large, but I also thought it would be nice to hang from a really ornate mirror. It almost acts as kind of a wreath. Instead of the size and the weight of a wreath, this is very lightweight if you needed something as an option. And I think it came out so beautiful, and it's such a great way to reuse a picture frame. And like I said, it kind of acts as a wreath, but it's not quite the size and the shape, so it could fit in a smaller wall space. So for the next Dollar Tree DIY, I wanted to share with you how to wrap a beautiful package. So I love to look in the Dollar Tree wrapping paper section, and what I do is I look actually for the wedding paper. So they have really beautiful detailed white wedding paper, and I'm wrapping my son's girlfriend's package in this. I'm so excited. I hope she doesn't watch this video because I want it to be a surprise. But I just used some of that Dollar Tree gold ribbon and dovetailed the ends. Now here's the next Dollar Tree DIY. I want to share with you all how to make a poinsettia out of ribbons. So I just measured 6 inches of each ribbon, and I cut 6 pieces of each ribbon. And then what you want to do is I took it in about sets of 3, and you just fold them together, and then you cut a little notch out of the top that kind of is in the shape of a point. So you're going to do that on each side of the ribbon. And I did that for all 6 ribbons. Now, if you want to be really particular, you might want to measure each end, but I just kind of gathered them together and cut those. And then once you have them all cut and ready, you're just going to fold them in half and then fold them again. So you fold it in half and then fold it out. I hope that makes sense. Comment and let me know if you guys need help with that, but you fold it in half and then you fold it back down, almost kind of like you would do with a paper airplane. And then I'm just holding mine together with a clothespin. It works perfectly, especially for this smaller project. So once you get them all folded together, you're just going to tie them with a pipe cleaner. So you tie them in the center with a pipe cleaner and then loop it around the back. And then I'm actually going to do it with this lace as well. Now with the lace, it's not wired, so I'm going to put it towards the center. That way the wired ribbon can kind of stand up against it on either side. And I'm actually creating it for the centerpiece of this package, and I'm so excited. So all you have to do is wire all of these together once you're done cutting them, and it doesn't have to be perfect because a poinsettia isn't perfect. So these are excellent to use on your Christmas tree, in your garlands, or as a center point of a package. And of course, I had to go super extra and add some bling jewels to the center. My son's girlfriend is so special to me, and she really is delighted by beautiful packages. So I really want to do some fancy poinsettias like this on some of my packages. So I'm really excited. I think it looks really beautiful. It's going to fit perfectly on her sweet little package. And of course, you all can use all different kinds of colors of ribbon to create these beautiful dynamic poinsettia bows. There it is, goes with that centerpiece that we created using Dollar Tree items. I will link that video down below, but look at how sparkling and gorgeous it is, and I think it would be such an elegant surprise to use on a tablescape for your guests. And then for the next Dollar Tree DIY, I'm just using one of those Dollar Tree ornaments, and I'm taking some hot glue and following the lines of the swirls of the ornament and then dumping glitter over that. Now this project is a little bit messy, but it's really nice. The finished product, you can get kind of glamorous with your ornament and also use some of those beautiful jewels. I think it looks really super beautiful, and it kind of tones down the gold as well. Also, I wanted to let you all know that this glitter is an extra fine glitter that I found at Walmart. It was $2.97 for a fairly decent sized bottle, and so hopefully that's going to get me through my next round of Christmas crafting DIYs. You guys, I am going through a ton of glitter right now. Comment and let me know if you are as well, but look at how sparkling it is. Ooh, so gorgeous. And I did tie a beautiful white satin bow on the top, and of course you all can get super creative and customize this to whatever colors you're using, but this looks great in this metallic tablescape, and I just put it in that dessert cup, and look at how beautiful and sparkly. I'm absolutely in love with it, and it makes it really unique without a whole ton of work. For the next Dollar Tree DIY, I wanted to share with you all this popsicle ornament craft. So what we're going to do is just use some popsicles that you find at the Dollar Tree, and we're going to create this square kind of frame, and then I'm also going to reinforce it with a couple of more popsicle sticks. So I just flipped it over on the back, and I'm reinforcing it in the center. And what I want to create is a beautiful package. So I had some of that automotive cloth left over from another project, and I just want to go in and kind of cover the popsicle stick with that automotive cloth. So not really any kind of special folds here, just kind of randomly gluing it because I am going to put ribbons over it. So now I'm just kind of working out how to create this little package ornament. This would also be beautiful to use as a place card setting. So I'm just going around with the lace, and I went around and I cut and I glued it, and I'm doing all of my gluing on the back. That way I can make the front really pretty and glamorous. So here is the front part, and you can also remember customize this to however you want. So I'm just taking some of that white satin ribbon and I'm creating like a package bow. So you just tie it like you would tie your tennis shoes. Tie it right here, very easy in the center, and then I'm going to trim off the edges and dovetail those ends to give it a nice boutique finish. And this is where you can have a lot of fun with this and get creative. Now I had some Dollar Tree angel wings left over from a Dollar Tree ornament that I bought that I used on my wreath. And remember that wreath that we made and I broke apart the angel wings? Well, I pulled the feather part off, and so these are those feathers. So I'm kind of creating a feather package. Now here I'm just showing you some of the different colors of ribbon that you could use. You could use pinks, maroons, whatever your Christmas colors are. Get creative. Now I'm going to add a huge dollop of hot glue in the center of this and kind of just gather it around. Really no rhyme or reason. I just want to create like a little kind of crocheted lace puff, and I did get this crocheted lace at the Dollar Tree. And I also went in with a little bit of glitzy glam with that gold piece. Those are also the Dollar Tree. They're great because you can cut them apart and use them in your smaller projects. And then you guys see me using this Peace, Love, and Joy ribbon a lot. Of course, I could not resist adding some of that in. And then I'm going to go in with a little bit more glitz and glam with some of these pearls. Now, I think the pearls really dress it up and make it very elegant. And if you had maybe a sparkling letter or made a little place card, you could tie that in with this as well, and it would make a beautiful statement on your tablescape. I also think it is perfect to hang in your tree. You could also pick it into a wreath or a garland as well. So here's how I would probably use it. I would use it in the centerpiece of this tablescape, and it's also a lovely gift to give your guests if they like kind of a more fancy decor as well. I think it really dresses things up and makes it very elegant and very beautiful, and nobody is the wiser that it is popsicle sticks underneath. Now for the next Dollar Tree DIY, I am just using one of those little Dollar Tree hand mirrors. Now I think this would make a really beautiful ornament to hang from your tree. I'm just tying a large loopy bow at the base handle of this mirror, dovetailing those ends to give it that boutique finish. And you can find the little hand mirrors in the health and beauty section, and they're only $1. They are plastic, but they do have a mirror on the other side, so this would also work really nicely for a baby shower or bridal shower, or to give to, you know, your favorite little granddaughter for her dressing table. There's so many ways that you can use this, and again, for this one, you can customize this to fit your colors. So I'm just adding in a white satin ribbon and then a pink ribbon. I am going to give this to my aunt. I hope she's not watching this, but she does love to decorate with the pale pinks, and so this will be the perfect gift for her to use in her vanity space. And Dollar Tree also is carrying some pearl eyeglass holders, and so I just cut off the eyeglass end, and then I'm going to use this to loop into this to really glam it and doll it up. So check out their eyeglass holders and look for that pearl one. Now I also found these beautiful little white flowers at the Dollar Tree. They came in the sticker section, and I just added in some of those as well because they had those beautiful pearl details. I thought it finished it out really nice, and I also think this would make a great Christmas ornament as well because of the mirror. The mirror will reflect the light. So I'm just showing it to you on my tablescape, and I think it came out absolutely gorgeous, very glamorous, and I don't really think anybody would truly know that this beautiful, elegant piece is from the Dollar Tree. Now, who is excited for baking? I have been so excited to start baking. I've been baking cookies and breads in preparation just to test out my skills, and of course my oven, and of course we love to bake good goods during the holiday. This is some pumpkin bread that I had made, and then I got so excited grocery shopping the other day I couldn't resist picking up some stovetop turkey stuffing. Mr. Romantic loves, he's a southern man, and he loves to have a little bit of stuffing with any of his dinners. And then I had to share with you all this beautiful candlestick from the Target dollar spot. I was in awe of this. It has a sparkling glittering candle that's attached to this base. The base is plastic. It does take a couple of batteries, but it fit perfectly into this Dollar Tree vase and made an absolutely gorgeous tablescape. For today's Dollar Tree DIY, I'm going to share with you how to create these beautiful large candlesticks for a fraction of what you would pay in a department store. I've been searching high and low for really large candlesticks, and I cannot find one at a great price point. So we're also going to create this beautiful, glamorous winter wonderland floral. We are transitioning from late October into a Thanksgiving tablescape. We're going to use everything from the Dollar Tree, and this is that Dollar Tree wreath that we created as well. So I cannot wait to share with you all how to tie in some of these elements into your tablescape. I love the neutrals, I love the pastels, but I also love bringing in those metallics as well. For this Dollar Tree DIY table centerpiece, we are going to make 2 large candlesticks, and for this first part of the project, we just want to take 2 Dollar Tree margarita glasses. You're going to flip one over and then apply some E6000 glue all the way around the edge of the glass. Now I did put a little bit too much E6000 glue on that, so I suggest to have a paper towel on hand in case things get a bit drippy, or just not use so much glue. And once you have your glue on, you can go ahead and take your second margarita glass and just put that on top of the first one. And that's going to be the first part of our candlestick. Now I'm doing 2 of these, so I'm just going to do the exact same thing with the second one, E6000 glue around the base and put the top one on. And then for the next part of this, we want to E6000 glue the top part of the margarita glass because we're going to go a little bit taller with this. I wanted some really elegant, really regal candlesticks. So I just E6000 glued around the top, and then I used one of those Dollar Tree mirrors and put that on top of the margarita glass. Now I did let these dry overnight because the E6000 glue does take some time to set up. Once you have the mirrors on top of that, you're just going to take one of the large, tall Dollar Tree vases. So they had some really pretty ones that had kind of a lip at the top, and so I chose that one, and I just E6000 glued on the bottom of this and then glued that to the mirror. And that's going to create a really, really tall, beautiful candlestick or floral vase that you can really add a large floral to. So to start the floral centerpiece part, I'm taking a piece of this evergreen garland. This is garland that you can get at the Dollar Tree, and I'm just tying that on with a pipe cleaner. What I want to do here is create a really grand bow kind of floral. I'm going to do it in a style that's kind of like a winter wonderland, kind of rustic glam. You guys know me, I love my sparkles. So I'm taking 2 of these Dollar Tree sparkling ribbons, and I chose the silver and the gold because I'm doing a lot of mixed metallics for my holiday season, and I want this to go through winter. So once you cut off 2 pieces of ribbon, you just kind of want to pinch them together, and we're just going to create this little loop at the top, and then we're just going to wire that on with the pipe cleaner. So I went in with the gold first, and then now I'm going in with the silver. Now you all can get creative, and if you're doing reds, if you're doing pinks, turquoise, blues, a candy cane stripe, whatever you're doing for the holidays, you can use that color of ribbon to create this exact same effect. So I just wanted to go ahead and fluff this just a little bit, and then remember that ribbon that we painted in one of my last DIY videos, and I will link that down below. It's the one that we painted the ribbon and I created that wreath that's also going to match the centerpiece. So you're just going to loop the ribbon over on itself, pinch it in the center, and then wire that on top of the gold and the silver. Now I'm only using 1 pipe cleaner in this part, and I'm just wiring it on by twisting the pipe cleaner twice as I layer the ribbons in. Now once I have my ribbons layered in, I'm going to create a cluster of ornaments. So I chose this large sparkling ornament. It's kind of the mirrored ball effect, and then I'm going in with some of those Dollar Tree smaller ornaments. I love this rose gold, white, silver, and gold together. I really feel like I am in love with this color palette for me for this season. I'm definitely going to do quite a bit of this, and so then I just want to wire that on to the back part. Now if any of your ornaments pop off, you can just use a tiny bit of glue to keep them back on. And then I'm going in with some of those Dollar Tree white kind of snowy berries up to the top right, and then I'm also using a Dollar Tree white poinsettia, and I'm just kind of picking that underneath the ornament cluster. Now to get the florals in, you can see that I'm using my glue gun, and then here's one of those taller Dollar Tree florals. This was actually a fall floral that I painted. I do love to paint my florals to kind of change the colors, and I used the vintage pink Rust-Oleum paint from Walmart. And now you can see I'm just working with the back part of this floral. So those 2 evergreen branches that were just kind of hanging loose, I'm taking the pipe cleaner and I'm just wiring those together. I'm just kind of pulling them up in kind of some loops to where they don't just flop around. Now I'm going in with one pipe cleaner because I do want to create a little bit of some bows and glam in the back part of this arrangement. I want this arrangement to be able to be used as a centerpiece or to set in front of a mirror, so I want it to look really beautiful on all sides. So I'm going in with some of that same silver glittering ribbon, and I'm just kind of pinching it together and adding that one loop at the top. And then I'm also going to go in with the sparkling gold as well, and I'm doing the same layering effect where I just add the ribbon and then I twist tie the pipe cleaner together and then add another piece of ribbon. Now Dollar Tree is also carrying this kind of a sheer pattern ribbon, which I thought was really nice. I think it's nice to use different kinds of ribbons to give your floral dimension. And then I'm just using one of those silver ornament bulbs, and I'm going in and giving it a bit of a fluff. And then I'm going to also use one of those white Dollar Tree poinsettias in this back part just to fill it out a bit more and get it to kind of coincide with the front part of the floral. Now Dollar Tree is also carrying these really beautiful sparkling gold clips, and I wanted to just go ahead and clip that into the center of the poinsettia. That's one of my tricks that I love to use on a cheaper floral, is to layer in another smaller floral on top of that. Now I just want to dovetail my ends, and you guys can do this however you choose to do. I like to just create like a little dovetail by pinching it together and cutting the triangle end out. I think that gives it a really nice finished boutique look. And then I'm also going in with some of that sheer ribbon around the opposite side, and that way it kind of gives dimension to this side of the floral as well. And I'm so in love with this, you guys. I think it is coming out so beautiful. I have been designing this centerpiece in my head for days, and it's really exciting to see it come to life. So now I'm just using some Dollar Tree berries. Remember, we used them up to the right, and then now I'm using them down to the left. And then I could not resist, since we're doing that winter woodland wonderland rustic theme, I had to use one of these cute little birds. So they come on clips, but I did pop the clip off because I just want to hot glue her right into this center part right here. And Dollar Tree was also carrying during the fall season some feathers, and because I'm using this as a transitional piece and I want it to be able to be used on my Thanksgiving table, I did pick in that feather up at the top. And then remember that greenery we used in my last DIY? I'm picking just a bit of that in as well. And then I do love to go ahead and add some greenery in and around to the front part of my pieces just to give it a little bit more woodland effect. And now, you guys, I'm really loving those Dollar Tree white hydrangeas. They're sparkly, and I'm so surprised to see them carrying these for the winter, but I do want to fluff out the top and the front, and so I just went in back behind there, and then I went in down underneath it as well. So I did want to share with you all that I did do 2 of these florals, and before I created the florals, each one of them, I did clean them down really well with a Method Glass and Surface Cleaner. I love the mint. It is so fresh smelling, and I get this off the Grove Collaborative website, and I'll leave a coupon link down below if you guys would like to try it. They have a 5-piece free gift set for you. So for this second candlestick, we're actually going to create the very same thing that we did with the first one. So we're just going in with the bows and then layering in the ornaments and all of the florals. So I'm going to let you guys watch me craft. I know a lot of you comment and let me know that you all love to watch me work. So here it is, just for you guys. Done. And then from the Dollar Tree, I just E6000 glued this little cube together, and I'll try to do a DIY for you guys on this. I actually did a DIY for you all on it, but it was kind of a hot mess, so I want to do one for you that explains it better. But then remember that gold DIY that we did in one of my last videos, and I'll link that down below. I'm just using that up top in the centerpiece. And then there's those pumpkins that I got at the at-home store. I really loved how I could still use these since it is a transitional kind of fall into holiday time period, and they went really perfectly with this. And then I'm just adding some of those Dollar Tree gems and those Dollar Tree fake candles. I think this came out so beautiful, and you guys, this is something I guarantee you on a Pier 1 website or Pottery Barn or anything like that, these candlesticks and florals would cost a lot. At least probably $70 for one of the candlesticks with the florals this fancy and beautiful. And look, we did it probably maybe for $20. And what I do love about the candlesticks is that they go really tall. So that's really nice too. And also I still have ribbon left over, and a lot of the florals that I used were from the fall, so you guys can definitely pay and reuse some of those fall florals as a transitional piece.
So much for joining me on another fun and fabulous crafting and decorating adventure. What did you guys think about some of those old little crafts that I had shared with you guys? I feel like they're so beautiful, and so many of them are so relevant today that you guys can still do. I love listening to some of my stories from the past. You guys have been here for the last 7 years with me, some of you, and so you've listened to my kiddos growing up. And you know, I am a homemaker, and so all those fun things that are going on in my life. So anyway, you guys, I am doing a Christmas giveaway, and so I am giving away brooches. This was from our last giveaway, but I have a whole new plate of brooches to give out. I'm going to be giving away 5 in this video, so you guys stay tuned for the next video, and I'm going to announce those winners. And I'm so excited for this giveaway because I love Christmas brooches. I think they're so beautiful. And so anyway, all the fun things. My sweet friend Natalie at totallydazzled.com sent me this calendar of just brooches, and I was like, I do not need all of these brooches. So, but they're so pretty. In fact, I'm just gonna go ahead and open this one and show you guys how pretty they are. Oh my goodness, look at this one. It's so beautiful. And you can just pin them directly on a little jacket or a pretty dress. And you guys are all ready for Christmas. So anyway, all the fun things. Okay, now recently I have been reading a devotional with you guys, and a lot of you all have really been loving it. So thank you for the encouragement. This is only to inspire and uplift you. So the next devotional in our little series, it's called He Whispers Your Name. It's by Cherry Hill. This is called Stayed. Life changes, but I do not know. I know it's easy to find yourself on a path of life you never meant to travel. That's happened to me, especially in these last couple of years. You may have been driven down roads that led to dead ends or experienced tragedies that left you helpless in a ditch of pain and suffering. Your heart might be breaking and anxiety may be great within you, but in the midst of it all, you can search me and find me in your time of need, and that is so true as well. When you can't change your circumstances and you are helpless against them, you need my peace to help you remain in a place of peace. If you stayed focused on me, if you rely on me and trust in me completely, you can confidently place your hope in me. It is your hope and faith in me that changes everything. When you're all alone facing the unknown, know that I'm guarding your life and overseeing every detail of it. There is nothing that is beyond my grasp, and my grace will be sufficient in all things and at all times. Trust, wait, and hope confidently in my perfect and constant peace. You will guard him and keep him in perfect and constant peace, whose mind, both its inclination and character, is stayed on you, because he commits himself to you, leans on you, and hopes confidently in you. And that's Isaiah 26:3. I love that. You know, when things really start going wrong in my life, I instantly just start blaring my praise and worship music. Just put it on, put that praise and worship music on. Another thing that helps me is I get out my sneakers and I go for a walk. And sometimes I go for a cry walk. I will be walking in my neighborhood and just bawling. My poor neighbors. But it's true, you know. But God's peace is always going to be there. It's hard to find sometimes, especially when you're in the middle of it. But trust me, God is there. Itchy Bear has like a little crusty. I'm trying not to aggressively pet him and get his little eye crusties. I don't know, do you guys do that with your puppy dogs? But anyway, I hope that this devotional has brought you guys peace. I know everybody is going through something at this time of year, or just going through something in general, or have been through something, and time does help. It does help. Time helps. Keeping going helps. So I want to encourage you guys to keep moving, keep tidying up your home, keep getting out your pretty outfits, putting on your lipstick, keep doing your hair, your makeup if you're a girly girl, keep cooking for your family, keep decorating, keep doing your seasonal decor. Boy, I usually always want to do my seasonal decor, but I've had years where it's a little bit harder to get all of it out, but it's always going to be worth it. So I have a bunch of really fun ideas for you guys for our Valentine's Day. I'm going to do this tree and a Valentine's Day tree, and I'm going to be going to Dollar Tree to find some new goodies, and then I'm going to craft from what I already have. I don't have a lot of Valentine's Day stuff, and I'm going to make it really beautiful, and I'm going to need some new ribbon because I have exhausted my ribbon supply. So I'm looking for some pretty pink ribbon. We're going to do some bows. And I'm going to give you guys a romantic Valentine's Day home tour like I did last year. So anyway, I'm excited for our next video. It's going to be our Christmas video. I'm going to do a combination. I'm going to do a big marathon of Christmas home tours for you guys. So if you guys are wrapping presents or whatever you're doing and you just need a little bit of Christmas joy in your life, you can click on that video, and it's going to be several years of my home tours for Christmas. And so I thought that would be fun, like a Christmas home tour marathon, so you guys can see all how my house has changed. I might do a part 1 and a part 2, we'll see, because I have, I think, 7 years of home tours. I'm gonna have to go back and check the archives. But thank you for watching all of my archived videos as I get ready for my own family Christmas, and you know, wrapping presents, making Christmas cards, cooking. My kids are all gonna be home this weekend, and there's gonna be dogs and kids, and it's gonna be crazy. And you know, I'm gonna be cooking and cleaning, doing laundry, getting ready for our after Christmas trip that we're all gonna take with our kiddos. And so anyway, all the fun things. I love y'all to the moon and back. I hope you're having a gorgeous, fabulous, blessed day, blessed weekend, blessed week. Getting ready for Christmas. I know I posted a picture on my Olivia's Romantic Home DIY Facebook page, sharing with you guys that I was making homemade Christmas cards, and asked what you all were doing, and you all were baking, and you were cleaning. Some of you all were relaxing, watching movies. Some of you all were still crafting. So wherever you're at, I hope you're having just a really lovely time and you're full of peace and joy, and know whatever you're going through, if you're going through something right now, you're going to get through it. I promise you, keep going, keep going. And if you're having like times of so much joy, I celebrate that with you. So I love y'all to the moon and back. And until our next video, be kind to yourselves, be kind to one another, and we'll talk to you guys very soon. Bye.